Hello, everybody. I'm Jaret Reddick. And this is a podcast. Jaret Goes to the Movies. Hopefully you have seen or heard one of my many musical endeavors. And if you have, then you know how much I love movies. This is movie commentary with no movie knowledge. This podcast is me and my friend Rich talking about movies that we like. But my name's on it because I'm famous. This is Jaret Goes to the Movies. Still. Okay, we're starting now.
Zadruzi. Get rid of that scum.
We get it.
We got it.
Good percussion. Were you in band?
You got me again on that.
How we doing, guys? Man, it's good to be back. My name is Jaret. This is Jaret Goes to the Movies. You guys probably haven't noticed that we've been gone because all of the podcasts, including last week's attempt at this movie, have been so amazingly good that...
I did my best.
Man, what a run we're on. We had like out of the last 8, I was drunk on 2 of them because I played golf, right? Power kept going out on 1. You know, tonight we're starting so late.
When you say drunk on 2, you mean like starting drunk, right?
What? I'm drunk on a lot of these towards the end. But nobody listens to the end of these fucking things anyway.
No, they're too long.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
They get shit to do.
I listened to the first. What's that? Nobody listens to the end of these
Is that
fucking
you?
things anyway. That can't be me. Yeah, Jesus
It's
Christ.
totally you.
How is that me? I'm not. I found it.
to
The first. Okay, it's because I'm on.
He's everywhere.
Start over.
It's because I'm on Casey's computer. Wait, hold on. How do I turn off
my
the auto
computer's
thing?
always on mute.
Anybody know how to turn off the auto next thing?
Oh. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It's on your... you got to open up a clip, and then it's over on the top right.
Okay, so I'll do it next time.
Yeah.
Does it go to the next one based off of my YouTube searches? Because it's just gonna
Oh
get weird.
boy, it sure is. Fucking hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens. All right. Well, man, holy shit. Has it been a crazy 3 weeks? So you guys don't really realize this, but we've been off for about, I guess, 2.5 weeks.
No, it's been 3 weeks almost exactly.
Has it? I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, the last time we were together was around the 4th of July.
Tomorrow will be 3 weeks exactly.
Okay. So that makes sense. I mean, my God, so much has happened. You know, the Berlin Wall came down. And I mean, that happened. No, with me as always is Rich. Rich, I fucking missed you. I know that's weird. I don't miss you.
I came and saw you at your show.
I didn't miss you as much as I normally do because you can't Facebook message. So you'll text me now.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're in contact.
Yeah.
You know, which is nice. And then my lovely wife Casey is here.
Hello, I'm here.
She is wearing her shirt that she got from last year's Warped Tour from the band Guar.
It's a really horrible story behind it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I bought this white Guar shirt because I don't know, I thought it was funny. Just white Guar shirt.
Yeah.
And their what's Gabe? Their monitor guy was like, dude, because they spray out a bunch of blood and blue stuff. He goes, go tie-dye that thing, you know? So I freaking drug this thing to the front of Guar and held it up and let them squirt that shit all over me. And it was all blue and red and awesome looking.
I don't see it.
I let it dry. They are very considerate with their dyes because one wash, it was all fucking gone.
All of it.
Like,
Yeah.
I like let it sit in the heat, like bake it in there.
Yeah. No?
Do you know who Guar is?
Water-based.
They like dress up as like
Yeah, it's
fucking
weird.
Ninja Turtles with like huge dicks and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
and they like cut off like
yeah,
Donald Trump's head. And
yeah, they like
giant
anal rape him and
penises.
shit like on stage, and they can cut off his head.
Yeah, that's totally acceptable.
But
Fuck
Kathy
it,
Griffin
Kathy
cannot.
Griffin cuts off his, and she didn't even butt fuck him,
Not even one time.
not even once.
I think they fucked his neck hole.
Is that what they do? Like just fuck him in the throat?
I think so.
Yeah, why not? You know, why not? Silent Sean is here. Hello, Sean.
Yo.
And man, we missed you as well, buddy. And then our special guest today. This is a very special guest for me, guys, because I've known Rob for a very long time. So Rob is here. Rob Filicetti, and he is the guitar player in a band called Patent Pending, who you guys know that Bowling for Soup loves, and we take all over the world and shit. And he also played drums for Gary last year in Bowling for Soup for Warped Tour while Gary was having a baby. And this year he sat in for Eric, who couldn't be on the tour, and as bass player for Bowling for Soup. So he's like 2 summers in Bowling for Soupville. And if you've ever seen the video where the Ataris fire their drummer by throwing a drum set at him,
I know that guy.
that's the drummer right
Can we
there.
get that from the horse's mouth story?
You can totally get it. I mean, I'm sure have you told it too much that it's not even worth telling it anymore?
You just referenced
You-
the
you
YouTube
summed it
video.
up.
You just send the
You
link.
summed it up pretty good.
I mean, but it is interesting to hear from your perspective. But if that's like just
Like,
been,
how did we get to that
here's the
point where
thing:
they're
he's
throwing...
already been back in the band as a bass player since then.
Okay.
For
So
a short time.
so I'm not sure that you
Did
even
they throw
care.
any of
I
those
don't
things
care.
at you?
I don't really give a
Like
shit.
the bass guitar?
What's that?
Did they ever throw a bass guitar at you?
No. No one's throwing anything at me. No one's going to throw anything
Except a drum set.
at me. Just that one time.
Yeah,
Everyone gets one pass. And
Right.
he used them all up for everybody by throwing
Yeah.
a drum set at me.
yeah, exactly.
And he honestly didn't even throw it at me. The video suggests that he did, but I was way gone by the time he was throwing his little 10-year-old temper tantrum.
Right.
Oh,
So,
fighting
yeah.
words right there. It's starting all over
Well,
again.
that's documented
Then they
too.
did
though.
press conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did press conferences about it and shit.
Yeah, really well done, too.
And I did a reactionary video to their press conferences where I did nunchucks, and it never got put out there.
Weird.
Yeah, but I'm fucking good at nunchucks
I
too.
know.
Like it was a whole goddamn thing.
Are they as lethal in the water?
Oh, you can't do nunchucks in the
Oh,
water.
okay.
That's
Well,
not
how do
even a
you?
thing.
I don't
Don't be
You're
silly.
confusing me.
Yeah, don't be silly.
All right.
In the water, they become more of a strangulation device.
Ah, got it.
But yeah, you can't like twirl them around. So you can do them over your head, but honestly, if you're in the deep end, you're liable to knock yourself fucking out, and then you're gonna drown. So in
Do
water
you use
karate,
them when the dolphins get rapey?
well, you don't really try to use karate on dolphins. You just try to ignore that they're there. Like,
How do you strangle a dolphin? Like, where's its throat exactly? It's
Well,
kind
you
of like
don't
all
strangle
one
them.
big long throat.
No,
It's
again,
on the top.
again, if a dolphin is trying to get at you, you just ignore it like it's a bee.
Oh,
You know, I mean,
Got
and you go from
No,
there.
dolphins
no, you're
like
supposed to
people,
punch it
though.
in the nose.
Don't
They
They are.
but they like you a lot.
yeah.
Apparently,
They'll like your
that's
leg
a
like
thing.
a dog.
But that's not the. Do they actually try to like stick their nose up your butt or something? Like, what's the whole deal with
Is that
like
how you think dolphins mate?
how?
How else would they?
Yeah, what else do they do?
Have you seen those things?
Parts, right?
Do they get ding dongs? They have ding dongs.
They have to somehow. I think they only have things like come out.
They swim like so. One of them's got to swim upside down. It's like couple skating. One of you got to swim backwards. Here's the thing: I could never swim back or skate backwards. So if I was going to couple skate with you, you had to be able to skate backwards.
Right.
But most of the boys skated backwards. You know,
I
It's-
never.
it was slim pickings. That's what
I've
I'm
never
telling.
skated in my life.
No kidding. Not
in
roller
my
skating?
town. The girls skate backwards. The guys don't skate backwards.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different. Well, maybe you were above one of the latitude.
I was in
longitude.
Louisiana at the time.
Okay, well that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some. Cajun
We also
shit.
have parishes.
Dolphins
instead of
definitely have a
counties.
penis.
Dolphins have a penis.
Yeah.
How-
Dolphins are self-aware too, so they know what they're doing. It's not
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, I'm just acting on instinct. No.
Yeah,
So there
it like
should
pops
be-
out like a dog. I think
There
like,
should be charges involved in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
there's
Bowling
some
for Soup,
dolphin testes.
Dolphin court.
we have a Bowling for Soup owns a mini horse. It stays at our my partner Jason.
I've heard this actually.
Yeah, and his name's Sebastian, and that dude just leaves his big horse dick out all the time, and I mean it's
Does he?
oh my god, and I'm surprised it's not calloused from
You
dragging
would-
the ground.
You would get the pervy.
Wait.
mini horse.
I was kidding. You actually have a horse?
We have a mini horse, yeah. Bowling for Soup adopted a mini horse. And it lives at Jason and Jaylina's. Jaylina's my new assistant,
Right.
and Jason's my partner in band in Texas.
When you say adopted, it was on the streets?
Now,
It was in an
basically-
orphanage?
He was essentially
you
like...
rescued him. You didn't
we
adopt
rescued him. We rescued him.
Okay, so you're paying for its...
I paid $250 basically so that he would be not in an environment that was terrible, and now he lives in a great place. And
Describe
Horse
the
penis
terrible
everywhere.
environment. For
I
a
don't need
horse.
to describe that, but it's
Oh,
just
okay.
not good. But so yes, and we pay for all the food. And
Was
all
it in
He
a
kicked the
pasture with
dog
not
once.
as much grass?
No, it was just like fucking.
Was it in a dark alley? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, he was living on the streets, like, and
East
you know,
Plano.
in areas where they actually eat horse.
Neighing for food outside
Oh
of
my
a
god, he was
outside
just,
of a
Did
fancy
you ever see
hotel.
The Godfather? We didn't want that happening.
exactly. That's the thing. Exactly. That's what happened.
But it could have fit in a twin bed.
Well, that's just it. It's a mini horse, so it's not nearly as terrifying. It's just like
Or is it worse?
It's just
Like,
a little weirder, is all.
yeah. That might be worse.
dog
actually.
head or puppy head.
It's like
you know?
because your first reaction is not like, "Holy shit, it's a mini horse." It's like there's a really small horse's head. It's like plus you don't know is that a goddamn baby horse?
Well, and then you also don't. Yeah, you don't know if it's an unusually small head for a regular size horse.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's a pygmy. It's a fucking pygmy horse. It's what's the thing that you get now from mosquito bites and shit like
Malaria?
Zika virus.
Malaria.
What is it?
Zika
The
virus.
Zika, it's a Zika horse. You know,
horse.
like the fucking thing's teeth are all fucked up and shit, and
Is
its
that what you?
head's small.
I'm not.
No, they're saying if you're pregnant that your babies will come out that way.
Yeah, so like Beetlejuice on Howard Stern.
Yeah.
That's the
He
thing.
had Zika.
That's what I don't know the answer to.
Or
that.
the guy in the waiting room in Beetlejuice who has
yeah,
a
that's
tiny
probably
head.
why they call him that.
right? I think that is.
Yeah.
I think that is.
No,
Yeah.
Get out of
Sure,
town.
Because they
Yeah.
shrink Beetlejuice's head too in the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The witch doctor.
But I always think of the guy in the waiting room first when I think shrunken heads.
the big
you know?
eyes.
Yeah, it was just
We have so much to talk about, but
We're
we-
rambling.
well, no, I like all of this, but and there's the thing. I was gonna bring up so much. I figured you'd want to ask Rob about Warped Tour and
How was Warped
know,
Tour?
well, hold on, but
boy was it great.
yeah.
That's it.
We actually really did have a great tour. Anybody
Yeah.
that came out to the show, and I will say this: we did 3 one-offs. So Warped Tour took a few days off, and Bowling for Soup, as you know, doesn't take days off. So we played shows: Little Rock, Nashville, and Columbus. And at each of those no, did I say Nashville? Asheville.
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 I thought you said Asheville.
Yeah. So at each of those shows, at the meet and greets, Jaret goes to the movies T-shirts,
Oh wow,
each of them, and
one or
no, multiple.
Okay.
But at
Two.
so in Columbus, we had there was Katie Morgan. Got to say hello to her face to face, which was
right?
great.
Awesome.
Eddie,
Was she? Did you give her a place to feed her baby?
she didn't need to do it. She pumped it home.
No.
Eddie Weiss, we met.
Yep.
Dave and Lindsay Murray were there.
Of course, backstage.
They did get backstage, actually. Yeah, that did happen. They're the only ones, though. And then we did go, and then Wendy Croft was there. Totally tried to fucking sabotage my whole goddamn acoustic set.
You texted.
Yeah, she just laughed uncontrollably through this whole fucking thing that I'm doing, and I'm playing Turbulence, you know, and she's just dying laughing, you know, and then after that, and then I go, you know, and then I'm trying to be funny. I'm like, I could have you escorted out, but not everybody else gets the joke. They think I'm fucking serious, you know. She blames the whole thing on Eddie. You know, then her friend, when Wendy brought the friend that was on 5 Questions,
Right,
with
yeah.
you know, when they were in Vegas or whatever.
With the
Friend-
weird name.
Friend probably thinks I'm a fucking asshole because I was just kidding around or whatever, but
Right.
like I really wasn't going to kick around with him. Anyway, we went out, had a beer with them afterwards, me and Rob and Gary, and we were with some radio people from NCI, and you had a slice of pizza, right?
We all did.
Did I have one?
We got a whole freaking thing
Slut,
and brought it
you
back.
told
Oh,
me.
that's
Now I feel
right.
like you're lying.
Oh, that's right. No, we
No,
did.
no, no,
oh,
you
that's
did.
right. That's right. We got
And
a
we
whole
brought
pizza.
those sauces stayed in the bus until this morning when I threw them out.
That's
'cause I
right.
was just sick of seeing them.
Yeah, well, you guys went a little overboard on getting the goddamn sauces.
I
It's
thought
like,
we'd want a lot of options.
yeah, that's right. I know. I do remember that now.
Like that's how I know like they definitely went to like a strip club or something.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
whenever
yeah,
you
yeah.
come home from the mall and you give your mom like way too many details. Like what you had a pizza. And what was the other thing? I ate this.
Well, then Jared took me to the lamest strip club in Columbus.
That did not actually. To be honest, we had one night where I think that it was even brought up.
I don't even remember the last time I was at a strip club.
With me.
Oh, it was with you. Both of the last two
the last two to three times.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not something that I'm interested in anyway. Like they were talking about it on Howard Stern today about how they're doing JD's bachelor party and they're going to this thing and like, some of the staff are bailing out. Like they're just like, yeah, I'm going to go to the dinner, but I'm not going to. And that's what I would do too. Like I mean, I'll go to the dinner, or whatever. Then you guys go to the strip club, or whatever. I'm going to go to the bar over there where drinks are fucking. It's New York City, so I'm going to go over there where the drinks are $12, not where they're $28.
I would just go back to the hotel and watch a movie.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So
that'll only cost you like $30.
Well, there's no reason for them to get a hotel. They fucking literally live there.
Oh.
You know. So anyway, so much to talk about. So many things happening. We'll get to it over the next couple of weeks. But I'm curious about this. So what happened with this Rick and Morty thing with the guy getting in trouble?
Okay, so no, that's a offshoot. So James Gunn got in trouble. So James Gunn, who did the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Okay, by did you mean what?
Directed.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Yep.
And he was slated to take over the entire Marvel universe.
The cinematic universe.
Yeah, cinematic universe.
Wow.
So he was going to be in charge of making sure that all of the movies are cohesive like they've been up until now. And it's been amazing, right? Up until now. So they were basically grooming him to slide in and take over that part. But some, and I'll say it, right-wingers busted him for a lot of pedophilia.
Well, it doesn't matter if they're right wingers.
They found old tweets about pedophilia and molestation where he made jokes referencing.
He made jokes,
like South Parky jokes.
But that's where I was going to go. But that is exactly where I was headed.
Pedophile. I mean, I've read a ton of them.
I thought the right wingers were for that.
For pedophiles?
Let's get off the right and the left shit.
Okay. So anyway,
so he basically
so Disney fired him.
Okay.
Disney fired him for
some tweets that he did back in the day.
From Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which he was in the middle of making.
Got it.
And then now not also going to be the head of the thing. So that was kind of a big deal. And now there's just a lot of that searching through old tweets looking for pedophilia stuff.
But here's the thing, like he was doing it from a comedy aspect.
But we know that that's a problem in Hollywood, right? I mean, we know that in the past pedophilia is
100%.
Okay.
But let's back up a smidge.
It's a problem everywhere.
When Twitter first came out, it basically what it was
there's no other industry where pedophilia is a problem in the industry.
Well,
that's the difference.
Maybe in the priesthood. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so hang on just a second. So less about pedophilia and more about these tweets, all right? So when Twitter first came out, it was just basically, I believe what it used to say was like, what are you doing? Or something like that. And you would just basically, you had 150 characters and you'd say what you did. So these comedians started getting on there. And comedians literally made careers by getting on there with these funny one-liners. And you had people like Jenny Johnson and Patton Oswalt and people who were literally writing their comedy by seeing how people reacted to tweets.
Right.
So it made other people, I think, in pretty much all industries, go out there and just start saying some outlandish shit.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's been
shock value.
There's been recourse stuff. You know, if you don't know the Gilbert Gottfried story, he made a tweet after the tsunami hit Japan or whatever. He's actually married to an Asian woman. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be anything but a joke. But he's no longer the Affleck duck.
Right.
Right. So, where the reason why I found this interesting whenever we started talking about this earlier, and I'm not sure why Rick and Morty, why is that even part of this? It's because I should make a disclaimer.
I think that's kind of crappy. He had an old show called Daryl that they drudged up and found some references that could possibly be. I think that's more of just a, you know, it's like if you make a joke and it's a pedophile. I mean, I've made a young child sex joke before.
Sure.
I don't make young child sex jokes all the time.
No.
If I'm always making young child sex jokes to you, it's probably because I'm trying to normalize young child's sex.
All right, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. I mean, I feel like what you're saying is that like if I just only made racist jokes all the time, I'd be trying to blur the water as far as like me being a racist. Obviously, I'm not a racist. Have I made racist jokes? Of course. Do I make fat jokes about myself? Of course. You know what I mean? It's like, again, it goes back to your boy, Joe, what's his face?
Rogan.
Who says, you know, did Bob Marley didn't really shoot the sheriff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Steve Miller didn't fucking take the money and run. You know,
Right.
but so this backtracking and going back to what was politically correct then and what's politically correct now, and then holding people accountable for the difference is dangerous. It's fucking dangerous, man. I'm telling you, man, that is fucked up. Because I was watching a episode of $100,000 Pyramid was on the bus because we just leave it on the Game Show Network. True story. This is a fucking true story, and I'm telling you exactly the way that it happened. The star was trying to get the guy to say, he was giving him clues, and he was saying, topping, potatoes, yada yada. They got stuck on the first one. They never got past it, right? Dick Clark comes over to the side. Do you remember how he used to lean up against the thing?
Yeah.
And he'd try to save the day and give him the thing?
Right.
He says, slaves, back in the day, things that are whipped. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Now, that's fucked up. Right?
Yeah.
40 years ago. But
Right.
And that is, I mean, completely and I was like, holy shit. Like, I actually couldn't believe that it would make it past. I mean, you would think that there would be...
Yeah, because it's pre-taped.
You can't... No, 50, 60 fucking years ago.
Right.
50 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm sitting there thinking, why... holy shit, you could never say that now.
No.
Secondly, like, shouldn't there be a guy who like watches all these old episodes and just makes sure? Because you know that guy that used to host the Family Feud was touching people's tits and shit. You know. Anyway, my
Richard
point
Dawson.
is, I just think no matter, I'm sure the guy, whatever, I'm sure it is what it is, but I think just goddamn, that's fucking terrifying for anybody.
He does have I'm looking at him. He did have a bunch.
Right?
There's
what
a bunch.
And once he got busted and fired, he went personally and deleted 10,000 of his own tweets.
Jesus
Well, he
Christ.
probably deleted like from a point back,
All
right?
So what you're saying is that it wasn't a point of like comedy and things like that, and you know, and I
some
get
of them,
that.
some of them were like a little bit more like, man, that's not really, that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah,
some
some
of them
were-
were pretty fucking direct.
The first
Yeah.
thing that I thought of was South Park, where like the whole Nambla thing and all of that.
Exactly,
shit,
and people are going back in, and that's like one of the main defenses. People are like,
Yeah.
well, everyone watches South Park, and they joke openly about
Right.
this stuff all the time.
Yeah, and it's like, because you know, Casey and I love offensive comics, like Anthony Jeselnik, obviously.
It's
which,
funny because they tried or someone tried to lump Jeselnik in there, and he goes, scrolling through my tweets trying to look for the offensive ones is like looking for a needle in a needle stick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
everyone's like, you're barking up the wrong tree
Yeah.
with this one.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Sometimes it's the, you know, he's joking.
Yeah.
And I get that. And maybe we didn't know that this other guy was joking, and what you're saying is, I'm just saying that, like, man, that's fucking crazy. Because, again, the first thing I thought of whenever you said that was...
But you
Holy
look at Jeselnik and go, dude, that guy's slaying pussy left and right. You look at this guy and you're going, I think he probably is.
I thought more like South Park, though. I really did. I think, you know, but again, I guess, you know, some people can get away with that kind of thing and some people can't. And maybe it's context, and maybe it's how you live your life. And if you're getting busted for it, maybe.
Look, I don't
Where
think...
there is smoke, there is fire.
Here's the
all
problem.
the time.
Here's the problem. I don't think he should be fired for making offensive tweets like that. But the problem is, we know that shit is going on in Hollywood, and no one's doing anything about it.
Sure.
He should be able to joke all he wants, but if someone sees or knows about that, someone should come forward, and that's just not happening.
It's like that in
Well,
society.
these were,
though.
I mean, how long ago is this? Like the tweets they found, like 8 years ago or
don't
something.
So again, back to the beginning of Twitter.
It wasn't as topical as it is now.
And news anchors didn't put their fucking Twitter addresses at the bottom of the screen while they were doing their cameos. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't that.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. I mean, I can see both sides of things. I don't think it's right and left. If you want it to be right and left, then it's one of those things where you're
that's what the media are saying, that the right is going after.
But if the right was saying, you can't say this shit, I don't care how long ago it was, you're in a position of power, then clearly that's not true because our president's talking about grabbing
the thing about that is, though,
then the other way around, I instinctively want to go, well, maybe it wasn't that big of a deal, but then I'm also like, well, our president's talking about grabbing pussy, so you can't have both ways are wrong.
No. And again, this is just for the sake of conversation, and I'm obviously, dude, again, I do really believe that
don't molest children. That's what we're getting at.
That's the whole fucking thing. And where there is smoke, there is almost always fire. That's a fucking given. All that shit. And I do think that the thing that I worry about, and I'll close with this, and then if you'd like to close, the thing that I worry about the most is that we'll get so. Obviously, you're coming at this from a thing of like we've got to, God, this is too rampant in Hollywood and yada. I think it's too rampant in society, pedophilia or whatever. So let's figure it out. If you see something, say something. But I worry about jokes. I worry about comedy. I worry about people starting like someone like Anthony Jeselnik, and I don't think it'll happen. But I worry about him being scared to tell a joke that, is a fucking killer joke that would make him a living and allow me to laugh and allow, and maybe laugh at something that's really uncomfortable. But the reason why you go to him is because he shocks you. Just like the reason in the 80s you fucking watched Eddie Murphy do a bit on the honeymooners fucking each other in the ass out the window. That was shocking. Norton, come on down. I gotta show you something. I'm gonna bend over, and when I do, start fucking. Like, that's a fucking whole Eddie Murphy bit that we as children used to repeat all the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I fucking worry. I worry about.
There's articles like on HuffPo and I think it was Independent UK where they're obviously trying to normalize man-child love.
That's insanity. That's not even what I'm saying.
I know, but that's they're coming to the defense of these guys in that sort of a way.
That.
Yeah, I agree.
No. That's
you
not
mess
what
with
I'm
a kid, you can die for all I care.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Because if I hear about a kid being messed with, that's as good as it being my kid. Fuck you. I hope you burn in hell.
100%.
I'll set you on fire. We'll watch you burn.
Yep.
Don't care. You deserve whatever comes to you. And I hope it's fucking terrible.
In the asshole and the mouth.
All of it. All of the, fucking seriously, in the ear. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just...
You're not even supposed to put, a Q-tip in there.
Exactly.
I know. I get scared.
It's damaging.
I don't.
I
the scared
thing?
thing? Oh, man, I do, too. I just get in there and...
I get scared. I am so worried I'm going to hit something... Because I can barely hear as it is.
Rob, how's the podcast going so far?
Weird.
Weird.
I thought we were going to talk about Mission Impossible.
Yeah, we edit all this out. That's fine. I miss the semen in my butt.
All right, so I do need to point out that you're listening to Jaret Goes the Movies. This is a Matt Cardosi and Daniel Cotton production. Now, I got to see both of them on the Warped Tour. Daniel Cotton came out for a couple of days, rode the bus, and got super hammered the last day and got some shit stacked on him. That's on the internet. And Matt Cardosi came out for 2 shows, hung out, got to hang out with the gang, got to meet Rob, got to meet everybody. So I want to thank our producers, what are they? Our corporate VPs, for being awesome and showing up to the shows. Thanks for supporting the people who work hard for you. Our new supporters are from our Patreon page. Go to Jaret Goes the Movies and click on Support Us, or just go to Patreon and search Jaret Goes the Movies. That's how we make this magical podcast that you're listening to happen. Our new supporters do include Bill Russell at the $1 level. Every week he gets all the outtakes from that week. Brandon Miller, who is a new $5 supporter, as well as Adam Sparks, who now those 2 dudes get all the archive of bonus material. So if you just heard part of that conversation, there's probably a shitload more that you're going to want to go and grab. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If not, fuck it. Brian Mason, as a new $20 supporter, means that he is now an executive producer. And at the $10 level, which he passed, he also gets to be on our monthly Skype chat, which is a lot of fun. Our executive producers do include Wendy Croft, David Murray. Both I got to see on the Warped Tour. Sheila Ray Wonder, David Dooley, Matt Cardosi, Rodon James, Nigel Watson, Chris Black Magic Whitehead, Lucy Murray, Daniel Cotton, Jared Spear, Diane Small, Lisa Winsel, John Gickler, Katie Morgan, who I also saw on the Warped Tour, Shawnee Mae Griffiths, Greg Pascal, Mark Ryan, Tyler J. McCullough, Sweet Hurst. Oh, shit. Josh Millman, Jason Randall, Mike Breton, Chris Jacobs, Brian Dunning, Paul Baums, Amy Pitzinger, who came to the rescue yesterday. My first day back, and I'm just like, all I want is for somebody to invite me to a pool. And she came through, and we went over there, and I peed all in that pool. Jason Wall, Bodie Cooper, Kirsty Fisher, Dominic Petretta, Woody Chambers, who you will hear from later on in the broadcast, Simone Vark, who did not quit the podcast, Tess Green, Michael Price, and Brian Mason. Let's talk about the movie Mission Impossible. It came out in 1996, and here's the deal. An American agent under false suspicion of disloyalty must discover and expose the real spy without the help of his organization. Pretty fucking good synopsis. A little bit wordy. I like it, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Cruise is in this. Emmanuel Bert.
Are you going to cast?
Well, no, I'm just saying, because there's no cast thing on here.
Oh, I forgot cast. That's right.
That's fine. And Henry's Ernie.
John Voight.
Yeah, John Voight or whatever.
They're all
they're all in this.
Bing Rames.
All right. Yeah, right.
Over to Rich for his alternative synopsis.
Mission Impossible. Ethan Hunt, who is a U.S. government agent for the Impossible Missions Force. Did everybody know that that's what that stood for?
Yep.
That's stupid. Tracks down a double agent / mentor by running, jumping, hanging. He did some clinging, I think.
With the things.
But most importantly, by emailing.
For the first time ever on screen, email happened. It is the greatest dial-up of all time.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
How many movies are there so far? Or will be?
Huh?
How many movies are there?
Ever?
Six?
In this thing? It's the 6th one's coming out.
When's he gonna give up? Because it's fucking impossible.
Why would they call the elite agency Impossible Missions Force?
To give it, you gotta give it some gas. It's to let them know this is tough shit that you're getting into.
Why wouldn't you call it the Tough Missions Force?
Because you really gotta drive that one home, right?
Because if they're impossible, you really can't do them.
It's like maybe it's that sort of thing where people like a challenge.
Like maybe it should have been the SIMF.
I think the whole point
Seemingly
is that
Impossible Missions Force.
yeah, that's pretty fucking good, actually. Yeah, like seemingly impossible missions is pretty damn good. Seemingly impossible missions. Sim. They'd just be the Sims.
That was the Force.
Oh, I don't know, but Sims that fucking came out right after they got email. That was a thing you used to build a city, plant a garden and shit.
No, you just made the people have sex. That's it.
You just walked away from your computer. The next thing you came over, they fucking built a farm.
What about
Unbelievable.
non-actionable missions bureau league agency?
This is terrible.
NAMBLA.
All right, well... Show's fucking off the air now. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, let's dive in, guys.
Yeah.
We might as well watch this.
Do you need a beer, Rob?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I screwed Sean over. While Sean's grabbing a beer. Okay, got it.
It is this half which Galitzin plans to steal from the embassy during a reception tomorrow night. Your mission, Jim, should you choose to accept it, is to obtain photographic proof of the theft, shadow Galitzin to his buyer, and apprehend them both. I've already dispatched a team selected from your usual group. Sarah Davies is already undercover. Jack Harmon can hack into any security system. Hannah Williams will handle surveillance. Your wife, Claire, will cover transport. And Ethan Hunt will be your point man, as usual. He is now in Kiev and will rendezvous in Prague at a safe house of your choosing. As always, should you or any member of your IM force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow all knowledge of your actions. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
We didn't talk about the theme song.
Jaret's opening a beer.
Hold on. Okay, go.
I said we didn't talk about the theme song, which is one of the greatest
Dun.
theme songs ever in
There's-
a TV show.
Yeah, it's so. What's the movie where they do like they're on a panty raid? Is it Revenge of the Nerds or Animal House? Where they're like dun 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 dun.
Where
I
they're
think it's
saying
Animal
it.
House.
I think it's
Animal House too.
Yeah, that sounds like Animal House
Well,
2.
no, I think
They
it's
didn't-
Animal House as well.
Oh, okay, got it.
Also,
Yeah.
2.
Rob, I'm glad you're here, buddy.
Hey.
Hey.
I think this movie got remade because the theme song is so strong.
I think you're definitely right because
5 times.
I didn't even know what Mission Impossible was.
Well, so the movie's kind of like a sequel to the series.
This movie
it's the
felt
dude-
like the TV series.
Yeah, but the dude, John Voight, and the other guy who you think is bad, but kind of is, and then isn't, but then he is. Those are like 2 of the guys from the show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So the show that takes place, it like bases around like 5 of them doing just shit like that.
Are you
And then-
saying John Voight was on the TV show?
Not John Voight, his character.
His character.
Jim.
Yeah.
Phelps. Yeah, Jim Phelps.
Yeah. He's
And then-
he's the Leslie Nielsen looking guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, and please. I don't know who plays who on that show. I just know that
I thought Ethan Hunt was on it too. He's the guy that does all the
Yeah, obviously they referred to that. How many different passports does he have, and how many different? What the fuck am I trying to?
So you
think
never
of?
saw the TV show?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I had no idea what the fuck any of this was until the game Spy Hunter, and even then, just dunk dunk dun dun dunk dunk dun.
I didn't know that song was in that video game.
Yeah,
I didn't remember anyway.
and so no, I didn't know what. And then I remember on Commodore 64 we had a game called Impossible Mission, and I heard about Mission Impossible later. But no, I had no idea of any of this shit until this got remade.
So I mean, I didn't watch it religiously or anything, but I definitely saw a bunch of episodes. And the big thing was it was always, you didn't realize it, but one of the characters that's going through and doing the stuff is and he pulls off the mask. And it's one of the spy guys, but they always sort of, they don't really always tell you that it's going to be, he's going to dress up like that character.
Yeah, well, they did that in this movie,
Right,
where
with John
when he
Boyd.
becomes Jim or whatever. But
Well,
yeah,
they set that up like right at the beginning, from a movie point to be like, hey, he does this shit when he like rips the stupid face off.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's just it. He's like, how many identities does this guy have? Who can he be? And you see him putting like the masks in his fucking.
Yeah, I like the one where he like goes to the fancy party and he dresses like Kate McKinnon, dressed as Jeff Sessions.
The best on that one is that one comes up in a minute, but the best on that is when he's on the talk show and it just doesn't even not look like Tom Cruise and some terrible fucking Ross Perot.
Play the clip
makeup.
because I got.
Hold on, well, I want to fucking figure this out. At the first, like, so here's what happens. So this movie starts out. First of all, I'm like, God damn, he is young or whatever.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me.
Yeah, and then
because he looks young now,
right?
And I just think he just always looks that way, but he really looked young.
Then they got into that room and they're meeting for the first time, and everybody's doing all this back and forth shit, right? And
About coffee.
And about the coffee. And
What do
or
you think
about,
I've been doing all day?
Well, and he's just like, just the deal, like, oh, you're at the Drake in Chicago. And he goes, with 24-hour room service. And then Tom Cruise is like, and chauffeured limos and whatever. And I'm just and I'm like looking, I'm going, how fucking old is this movie? Like that, it
seemed 80s.
It got aged quick.
Yeah.
Really, really fast, like right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so then Rob said something later in the movie where he goes, okay, did you guys realize like how 70s it kind of seemed, you know, at the first of the movie, like 3/4 of the way?
Up until they get to Langley.
Yeah, but then I'm like, now fuck it. It's just terrible. Like it's just written out of its fucking, out of the year that it's in. And
Right.
it's just the dialogue's bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, when we get to Ving Rhames, I'm never eating at Arby's again. Ever. Like, he's in my fucking favorite movie of all time, and I think he's terrible in that.
Is he the Arby's spokesman or something?
Arby's.
We have the beef.
And he's the ADT guy, too.
Yeah.
Like, right. Jesus Christ. He's like the spokesperson for all the shit that I have. And, like, I can't go to Arby's, though, because my family doesn't like Arby's. So.
I like Arby's.
I love Arby's.
What? You like Arby's?
Yeah.
Why don't we go to fucking Arby's?
I'm calling it
We
in.
always have kids with us.
Oh, yeah, they fucking hate Arby's.
Oh.
Why?
They're
They
fucking
got curly fries.
little shitheads.
They have hot dogs.
If he has a car waiting and he rolls, you stay with him no matter what. You should take the afternoon drive the streets around this little quarter. They're confusing as hell.
What do you think I've been doing all morning?
We're using Waltzer?
Learning English.
He's our guy.
Isn't he chairing the armed services hearing?
Not this week. This week he's fly fishing at the Ouderard Slough in County Kildare with one of our best Irish guides.
Yeah, and he won't be back in time soon.
Unbelievable.
Or unconstitutional at worst. With all due respect, Senator, it sounds as if you want to lead the kind of charge that Senator Frank Church led in the 1970s.
That guy's the best actor
and
in the movie.
process destroy the intelligence capability of this country.
I want to know.
He's like the dude from the Six Flags commercials.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so bad. That disguise is so fucking terrible.
I'm surprised.
If I ever see anybody like that anywhere in the world wearing like that, looks like
Just
that,
rip their face
I
off.
just immediately assume it's Johnny Knoxville. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. You do have to think. And here's the thing: in this scene, it's Angelina Jolie's dad doing a Christopher Walken impression, like the whole time.
Yeah.
He's just like, and then he's gonna be at the senator's gonna be at the. I can't do Christopher Walken, obviously. I can't do John Voight. I can't do Angelina Jolie. You know what I
No,
mean?
you
Like,
can't.
Jesus.
I'm surprised that Tom Cruise didn't play John Voight's part just so that he could have the reveal at the end be actually him wearing the makeup.
Just the whole time.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
why did they do that? It looked terrible.
It looked
terrible.
terrible. Now this,
But they pulled it off on John Voight at the end. It looked good.
That was like a mid-90s CGI move. I don't know if you noticed that because he's in the dark. They would do that then.
Oh, okay.
So like Jurassic Park, like all the dinosaurs and stuff, most of the time that they're doing all CGI shit, it's like because they're
It's
in the
at
rain
night.
and the dark and stuff. So then they would try and mask that stuff rather than now where they're like, oh, just everything all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you notice, the time that he pulls that off, he's like in the dark
Well, they could have
storage car.
done the dark pull off during the senator too. It just looked. It was
first
so
time,
obvious.
The first time he pulls it off when he's in the hotel room or whatever, because you figure out who he is on the black and white screen.
Well,
or
that's
whatever.
fine because we haven't seen who the character's supposed to look like.
Right.
They do it quick enough.
Yeah.
So it's like you're like,
And
oh,
it's
that's
on
silly.
it's on a shitty TV
Right.
CRT little.
I watched
monitor.
that movie today, and I watched the clip today, and I still didn't watch it. I looked at it and zoned out, and I've still not. I don't even know what happened. I have no idea what actually happened in the first scene of this movie. Still,
It's just
or
setting
why
up
that lady
like who
looks
they
so
are.
sleepy in fake blood.
So I used to have a
drugs.
I used to have a toy store, and so I sold magic tricks, and we had one that was like a fake gum trick, and you would like you'd load it, and you'd offer your friend a piece of gum, and it looked like Wrigley's spearmint,
Did it have, like,
you
a
know, like
bug
a
on
little
it?
5-piece. No, you'd take it out, and then it'd snap them in the finger. You know, they'd do that. This fake gum trick that they come up with here is way fucking better.
Where it blows
It's-
up.
where it just
fish
blows
tank.
some shit up, right? He goes, and I think Emilio Estevez, what's his fucking name? Oh, Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
I think he describes it the best here, where he just goes, hasta lasagna,
man.
don't get any on ya. And then he just looks at him while he's chewing gum for no reason and just goes, just don't chew it. Like, we've got to make sure Tom Cruise is chewing gum in the gum scene where he learns about the gum.
The gum, because there's some irony. Also, with that explosion, that he actually, the first time he uses it when he throws it on like the fish tank, thank God they didn't hire a stunt double for that.
Oh my God! Wait,
because he just.
yes.
I'll wait
No.
for it,
Okay.
Because he throws it on the thing, and then the fish tank explodes, and he hops like 8.5 inches in the air. In slow motion,
like he's getting blown off a building,
just kind of like,
and you just keep expecting him to go face first onto the ground or whatever, and he's literally just sort of tiptoeing, and then full blast run, go. Yep. It's so fucking terrible. Oh my God! And then so all right, so we're getting to the point where they're obviously going through the first. Their first little thing before everybody starts dying and shit, right? Mm-hmm. And they get in there. He's dressed up like the Six Flags guy. I thought Ross Perot, but I'm going to give you
Dana Carvey as Ross Perot.
I'm giving you the Six Flags guy. That's fucking amazing.
That's freaking perfect.
And then I love the amazingness of their radio contact. Like that existed in '96.
It doesn't exist now.
So clear, where it's just like, okay, we're on this frequency, whatever, and they're just mic'd all the time, and he can hear them, but he has to press a button. And poor Emilio Estevez is just dodging elevators and shit, and they can't get in the elevator. And so the lady, the one hot chick that they fucking kill, is like, hey, don't you have an employee named Jack or whatever? And he's like, hey, he's really untrustworthy or whatever, and they fucking and I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Emilio. He's trying his best to crack the code of the goddamn elevator.
Sorry.
And then they just play in the goddamn elevator for like 30 minutes. When he goes,
there's a lot of elevator
where he's like, hey, I opened the door, go under. I'm like, fuck you. Did you see what it almost did to Emilio a minute ago, and do you know what it's about to do to him? I'm not going. They don't know that yet. No. Holy shit. Man, there's what, we used to have this thing, we used to go to the mall, and when I was a kid, and so it's a 1-story mall, but J.C. Penney's was 2-story, and you could notice, I'm sorry, Dillard's was 2 stories, and you could ride the elevator up, but while the elevator was going up from floor 1 to 2, you could like open the doors, and you just see that people have like put stickers in there and shit. It was just like the coolest thing ever. That is as much as I ever want to play with a fucking elevator as long as I live.
I wouldn't even do that.
I don't want any part out of it.
Did you have, or were you ever the asshole friend that likes to jump in the fucking elevator?
Yeah, I used to do that.
What a dick.
Yeah, I used to do that.
That's the worst.
And I was a fat kid, so it made it worse.
That is worse.
I mean, because it could have had some serious impact.
No.
You never know.
That's always the
Hey, let's talk about the tech. Did you see that browser that he was using?
Netscape
Navigator.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, it's like the original. But see, I don't even feel like I don't feel like we had that until like 2000, right? I mean, like, did we have the internet?
But you were a part of the IMF.
It was 96-ish, 97 maybe.
I guess you're right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was. I remember it called Netscape like 96 or some shit, like one of the versions of
You had to pay for it. It wasn't free.
Exactly.
It's a subscription
Now,
based.
do you remember looking at porn for the first time on the internet? Because I sure do. I found this site called Aunt Judy's. And man, it was the fucking craziest shit I'd ever seen and it's still around. It's
Is
like,
your new sister watching tonight?
I don't know. Probably. But she thinks this shit's funny. If she is, she'll text me like something insane that like is like poignant to this, but she'll go off and say something funnier than me.
But anyway, I'll be embarrassed the whole time that they watch this.
Right. But so anyway, like I could just remember like you would like it. All you could do is look at pictures, obviously.
Oh, okay.
And so like the picture would come up and it would start like going. And you'd start to see like part of it
loading,
and like
and then it would freeze right in the middle.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that you would obviously be able to tell if you liked the girl like about like half of that. Nope, all right, we're back or whatever. Then you go to the other.
Did they ever end up with a penis?
No, but the thing about it was
because you're halfway through, and when it gets to that point, you're like,
no. But do you know what was missing back then that I thought of here?
Hair,
thumbnails.
Oh.
You didn't get to see what they looked like before.
Yeah, that wasn't a concept that we had thought of.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just a link.
Yeah, it was just like, here is Lulu, you know, because I like old ladies. Here's Lulu, you know, and you'd be like, and quite frankly, I'm gonna be honest, I would judge that photo before I clicked on it and probably skip over to like.
you wouldn't click on Lulu.
I'd probably go to like Maxine or some shit, you know. Let's be honest, yeah, whatever.
The first time I ever, like, just being a kid in the 90s, like, the first time I ever saw internet porn was, like, strictly by accident, which was always, like, the worst, most fucked up kind of porn. Like, you're like, I won $1 million on my first email account. And it's, like, some fucking girl with a football just shoved up
right
there.
up in there.
Or, like, you click something else, and all of a sudden there's, like, a hot dog shooting out of a butt.
Yep.
Tried to do some research, went to whitehouse.com, porn. Like, I mean, it was like, just, I couldn't get away from it. And I was like horrified. I had to run to my mom's room constantly and be like, I didn't fucking do it. Just go fix it.
Right.
Like, it was awful. So I saw a lot of really fucked up things as a kid.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm intrigued by the hot dog shooting out the butt.
It was a virus, and it was stuck there, and it was on repeat over and over.
The hot
and over
dog
again.
was the virus.
It was a black screen, and it was just this like person with a hot dog up their butt, and they would shoot it out, and they would just go over and over and over again.
What the fuck? Can you imagine how?
That was because
how did the hot dog get back in to shoot back out?
I think it's that. So that was the first boomerang.
Exactly.
Yeah. So can you imagine how hilarious the person that came up with that thought it was? Dude, I'm gonna do this thing, and here's the deal: they're gonna get this virus in their computer, and all they will see is just this hot dog coming out of a butthole over and over and over.
My brother
again.
had this friend that was like a legitimate computer hacker, like got himself in trouble like with the fucking government computer hacker dude.
Got it.
Back in the day, and so anytime a virus like that would happen on his computer, he'd like. Man, fucking Justin put a virus on my computer, and my mom bought it like every time. It was because he was watching porn and we get these fucking viruses.
Put a virus.
Will you tell Justin if he keeps doing that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna call his mom. Like, you know, like.
Weren't you just telling me about that the other day? Uncle Robert was just like a.
No, it was actually my actual uncle used to say it all the time to us, like, don't go up there and be downloading viruses on the computer.
Like you're up there going, okay, let me see.
Go to virus.net.
Yeah.
Download.
Aren't you glad that porn sites finally figured out that maybe if we don't give them viruses, they'll come back more often and pay for our service?
Yeah.
Who pays?
Not me.
Not me. No.
I take that back. I've paid before.
Okay, me too. And it was because I was like, I was in a situation where porn was illegal.
What?
Okay, so.
But if you pay for it, it's fine?
Yeah. So like you could, because you had to get past the browser thing. So like it would like pick up on you.
What country was this?
What are you talking about?
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, just spit it out because I know that you have the story.
He's dancing around it.
All right, so the browser, wherever you were, if you would click on it, it would just like constantly like send you to the member site or whatever in this country because free porn was illegal. Country X free porn was illegal.
Really?
It's country X because I don't really want to give a timeline here.
Okay.
But once you have like the fucking direct link or whatever, there's nothing they can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like once you've paid for it, they can't block that. Because there's no, like, stuff going, you must be 18 and blah, blah, blah. Like, once you got a fucking membership to the shit, you can just do it. So I did it for 30 days. Only time I've ever done that. That's not true. Twice I've done it. No. But one time was, like, super early in the internet, and I didn't even have a laptop back then. It really wasn't worth it. But you've paid for it before?
Yeah.
Did you do a fucking webcam, girl?
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
No, I've never. I don't like that. That doesn't do it.
Me either. Like
You've definitely done that.
No, I've never done a webcam.
Yes, you have.
Stop. I've never, like, I've watched...
but you never like, given them money?
No, or talked to them or anything.
You told me about Chatterbait.
Yeah.
Chatterbait I've watched before. And actually, here's the best thing about Chatterbait. Here's the best story of all time. One day, I'm sitting here in my studio, and Linus of Hollywood Linus is the fucking best, man. He does the thing. He walks in his studio.
Rob was worried about being able to cuss on the show.
Okay. So he
I don't know.
He comes in, he turns like Spanish television on the TV, and then he just puts ChatterBait on his laptop, and he just starts working. He glances over every once in a while.
I don't. That's no.
So he one day he texts me, he goes, dude, there's a girl on ChatterBait right now, and she's doing stuff, and she just listened to a Bowling for Soup mix. And so I like click the link, and sure enough, like I'm watching this girl who's in like another place, who's like, you know, trying to get dudes to give her money so that she'll show her hoo-hoo.
Right.
And she's listening to my fucking songs. I can hear it on the thing, and I'm
not paying royalties.
No, I didn't pay shit. Or no. Yeah, and exactly. And like
you guys were even.
You should have said something.
I called Linus up though, and I go, God damn it, should I just like make it a fucking account and just be like, hey, that's me that you're listening to right there, or whatever, you know? But I didn't. Like that'd be
yeah. I'm a pretty laid back wife, but like I don't think you really need to be chatting with a porn girl.
Yeah. I didn't do that. I really didn't. I swear to God, I've never done that. I would never do that. That's stupid.
I think I'd be like, I don't think she really needed that information.
It's too much fun. That's free shit anyway. All right.
Hey, so what I noticed in the movie about
oh, thanks for bringing this back.
About web browsers, and they do this in a lot of movies and TV shows, is they make these stupid sounds every time anyone clicks something that never happened in real life.
Right? Yes. Yes.
Like you don't know that they're actually making any action on the actual, like, you know, minimizing screens or downloading.
Most of those noises,
sound.
I think, because I'm on the computer all day long for my job, and I was like, if I had to hear that fucking noise, every time I did,
every time you did anything,
beep, 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 I would fucking throw the computer out the window.
You definitely know, though. You definitely know by watching this one that email was new. Because even
the address, did you see the email address?
Yeah,
it was like
just
at Job 314.
Exactly, it's fucking stupid. Like everybody's got their own domain name and shit.
They didn't understand like what at was.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the 90s is the worst for movie technology, because in the 80s and the 70s there really wasn't anything, and they just had to just make shit up and use their imagination.
You just believe it.
But in the 90s they're like, oh, we've got AOL and CompuServe, so we'll just use that. But you know what I mean? It's like
that's what I've always loved about.
It doesn't hold up well. It just is terrible.
That's what I've loved about like the original Star Wars trilogy is they sidestepped everything.
Yeah.
Like they didn't. No one ever even wrote anything down. You know what I mean? Like they sidestepped anything that would be like conventional sort of like versions of technology. Like spaceships just flew and like
just flew.
Shit just happened. Like there was no like it's like science to it. They just like shit just happened.
It's
like cars now. We don't get in the car and then like talk about how the cars go.
Yeah.
And all that. We just get in the car and drive.
Right.
So if someone from the 1800s are watching a movie about us driving around the car, we'd just be driving the car.
It would just happen. There would be no explanation of internal combustion.
Yeah, exactly.
It would just sort of happen.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Agreed.
Very true.
I rule.
Hey. Jack, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
I don't have control, Jack.
Oh, then I got a problem.
Cut the power. Cut the power, Jack. Come on, Jack. Cut the power. Jack. Jack.
Jack. Jack. Jack.
Jack, you copy? Jack?
Man down, Ethan. Man down.
He took that like a man.
Yeah.
He just looked at that stabby thing and just stared at it and just took it right in the face. Didn't dodge it. Didn't move 2 inches to the left or the right.
That's what I was
he
thinking.
didn't duck.
Earlier on, he was like hiding along the side of the elevator when it went by him. Why didn't he think to at least try that?
Yeah.
It would have
Scramble.
behooved him to do so. Because
No,
he would have
just
died.
Stare at that
Worst
motherfucker.
case.
Too
and
much
go,
fucking
"Fuck you."
elevator play.
I was not
elevator.
I did not expect that. I will say, I was like, okay, that's kind of like
For
hardcore
it to impale him in the
really
face.
Fucking boring movie. Like,
Yeah.
No, that's very 90s though. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean when I say that? Like that's
Totally.
a very 90s movie death. Like oh my god, it's like so gross in like 1 second of it. Like that's how that always happens.
It was a
then,
very
right?
morbid death for a non-slasher movie.
But it's that
Right?
movie's got to
like
have
zombie
it's got
movie.
it's supposed to be about like raising the stakes and like shit.
Shit's
Serious.
getting real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very morbid. The stab in the face thing was a little over the top. I was like, is this for this movie?
I don't know. I'd say it fits because one of the other movies, a dude's head gets cut off on like a train thing or something.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah. So I mean, it's. I don't
What's
know.
in the box?
Okay. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So a lot of shit happens here. Obviously a bunch of shit that basically everybody's running around and nobody knows where anybody is and communication's fucked up.
Installing stabby things at the top of elevators.
Right.
It seems very elaborate.
Exactly.
And heavy.
Agreed. Yeah, it's like an upside down like fucking sculpture that should have been in the lobby.
Yeah, I don't know that that's how elevators work. Do they have giant?
No, they don't
kill
have
spikes
stabby things
top?
at the
No?
top.
All right.
That's a custom installation.
Also, they don't go all the way to the top so that you can climb on top of it and service it.
Yeah.
Like what a hooker does. So
Hey-ho!
So here's the thing. So he said abort, right? He's saying abort.
Mm-hmm.
So I started thinking about this. Tom Cruise fucking in any movies, he never obeys orders. That motherfucker has there's a pattern.
Yeah.
Can I do a flyby?
The pattern's
no,
full.
He does a flyby. You know what I mean? Can we do this? No. Are you going to abort? No, I'm not going to do this. It's like this fucking Tom Cruise is crazy.
Yeah.
He represents our inner rebel.
Yeah, even in fucking Taps when he plays Sean, the Red Beret.
How do you get so far up into a position while not obeying?
He's not high up.
Well, I mean,
he's the last one that's listed.
He's in the IMF, which is
Sure.
the elite.
But he's got
don't
a skill.
just
He's
fill
got
out
a skill that they need.
Yeah, but they don't fill out an application and then just get straight into the IMF. I mean, he had to do a lot of things great to get there, and I would assume that disobeying orders was not one of those things.
The one thing that I knew at this point of the movie was that Angelina Jolie's dad was going to die.
Yeah.
I just fucking knew it.
I mean, before 5 seconds before the end, or at 5 seconds before the end?
No, regardless of
right
when,
now,
just at
I'm just
some
like,
point.
that dude's dying in this movie for sure.
I got it.
You could just tell.
You can just tell he's an ass too, right? Like there's something else. I knew that. I thought that from the beginning.
Yeah,
right?
you could tell something was wrong.
Yep.
I forgot he died.
Well, it's fine because the only movies he's in was Bratz the movie and Super Baby's Baby Genius.
Who?
I'm joking.
And
Oh,
Anaconda.
he's been in John Voight?
I'm just joking.
He drives a.
Movies.
What's
he drives
the
an
Cowboy
87
Wave
LeBaron.
or the what is it? Midnight
No,
Cowboy.
he's in 9 million movies.
Yeah.
What do you think his favorite brand of volleyball is?
Wilson?
Nope. Hello. Skip tutorial. What a fucking clusterfuck tonight's been. We've been sitting in here for 2 fucking hours. We really have. All right. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yep. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Lucy, we can hear you. Woody, we can hear you. Can you guys, let's see if you can hear Rich.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Nope.
Liar.
He was whispering. Okay. Woody's just. What's going on, you two?
Not a whole lot. Waiting.
Yeah, waiting for us. Right? Are you in the car right now, Woody?
I am. I'm driving cross country.
Son of a bitch in pants. I'm so sorry, man.
So basically, I was trying to get you in as soon as possible, and I screwed you because you're driving across country.
Well, we're moving from San Diego to North Carolina, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, you'll be better off.
Well,
are you restationed? Is that what's going on? And you're in the what branch of military?
Marines.
The hard one.
How long have you been
hard?
How long have you been in, Woody?
18 years.
Holy sweet Jesus.
Wow.
Well, thank you for that, man. That's amazing.
Are you doing 2 more years, or are you going to? What do you think you're doing?
2 more years and then I retire, moving back to McKinney.
Heyo.
McKinney, Texas. You'll be neighbors with Rich.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. Well, again,
I'll buy you a beer in 2 years.
Sounds good.
I want to apologize to
He's
you
allowed to
both,
drink.
but mostly to Woody because we gave Lucy a chance to get home. But that 12 minutes turned into a solid hour.
He's almost to North Carolina bound now. Though.
Yeah, I know, right? The thing is he's just been stopped waiting for us, probably. Like, okay, I got good service. I'll wait here in this McDonald's parking lot. and that's.
Do you have a wife and kids in the car too with you?
Nah, we're at the hotel in Monroe.
Oh, okay.
Well, guys, I guess since we're running so late, and you obviously, Lucy needs a shower, and Woody, you need some sleep.
Did you just say obviously? She needs a
was at
shower.
the gym.
Well, no, she
It's
just
obvious.
yeah, she just got back from the gym.
All
You know,
right.
like I'm a fucking friend.
I'm
You know, I
just
can
saying.
tell when somebody's ready to wash the stuff off them. So we'll just get right into this, guys. How about that? Now, so we're talking about the movie Mission Impossible. Lucy, were you able to watch the movie?
No,
God.
I did.
Damn.
I did read a synopsis, like a very in-depth one, but I have never seen a Tom Cruise movie, and I didn't want to make this the first time.
Oh my God.
Is
So
there a
she
reason?
didn't watch on principle.
She did not
So
watch.
she's like me.
She basically, basically, Casey didn't watch this movie either. She was in the room.
No, I did watch it, but you know I don't watch Tom Cruise movies. Like,
Yeah.
I've gotten away with like skipping some on here, but
Now, Woody, did you watch the movie?
I did.
Okay,
Seen it a lot.
Woody did his homework.
And drove across country.
Basically, here's what happened.
At the same time.
Woody studied for the test.
Right.
Lucy read the Cliff Notes. What do they call those, though, when you were in high school, Casey? Something else.
Spark Notes.
Spark Notes.
Spark
That's
Notes.
gay.
What?
Spark
I
notes.
actually tried to Google Mission Impossible Cliff Notes, but it didn't work.
It didn't happen. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. You do not. I'm gonna be honest. Woody has a very big advantage on this. I will try to take it easy on you if I can, Lucy. But fair is fair. You know, I've seen this is the Billie Jean Davy story. Fair is fair. If you got that movie reference,
I did not.
you didn't.
No.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Billie Jean King.
Oh, you never seen the Legend of Billie Jean?
Legend of Billie Jean.
Yeah, that's from that. Fair is fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Filmed
right.
in-
Christian or Slater.
Filmed where?
Corpus Christi.
No shit. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Well, you do now.
All right.
All right. What was the Pat Benatar song that was the We are young,
Was that it?
heartache to heartache we stand. Yeah,
I
that's
thought it was
that's Love is
Billie
Battlefield.
Jean's Not My Lover or something.
Yeah, that's a completely different time.
In person.
Completely different, and a completely different story, to be honest. That's when Michael Jackson hit it, got her pregnant, and he was denying it and shit. That's what happened. This is all about Helen Slater, shaved her head. She stabbed a guy or some
was
shit,
Christian
and then
Slater.
no, it's Christian Slater's sister.
Oh, that was his sister?
Yeah, and then they hit out at the guy who was in the movie Christine, and then he was also the kid on Back to School. They hid out at his house.
Yeah.
That's the whole movie. And the voice of Lisa Simpson is in the movie.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad we're talking about the movie that we're talking about. All right, guys. We'll just jump right into this then. Obviously, I'm assuming that Woody has seen it many times. Woody, obviously, there's many things about this movie that we'll all never forget. Do you have a favorite scene in the movie or a favorite quote?
Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
Same. All right. So let's just get into it. It's a competition. It's a game. We like to call this 5 questions. It's where we ask you 6 questions. The high score used to be 7, but Will quit the show, so the high score is now 6.
That does not sound as cool.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
leave off that last part. We can all do math. It's fine.
No, I like that part.
No, I mean like stop it at the will part. Don't go and then now it's 6 or whatever. It has a better ring to it.
Well, I'm caught up now.
Because Will quit the show.
So
period.
so I go. This is a game called 5 questions. I'm going to ask you 6 questions. The high score used to be 7.
But Will quit the
But
show.
Will quit the show. That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Boom.
Don't edit that. Let's let people hear how I progress.
Yeah, I agree.
In getting that right
I'm
from
with
now
you.
on.
I'm with you.
Okay, let's do that. All right, guys, here we go. Question number 1 will, of course, be about the 1996 movie Mission Impossible. In the movie Mission Impossible, the first recognizable character is A, Charlie Sheen, B, Emilio Estevez, C, Carlos Sheen, or D, none of the above. Was it A, Charlie Sheen, B, Emilio Estevez, C, Carlos Sheen, or D, none of the above? The first recognizable character we see in the movie. All right, we're going to go to... Woody, are you writing down, or are you just calling your answers out?
Yeah, I didn't bring a whiteboard with me.
That's
sorry.
You did it. You're not driving across.
Yeah, please don't.
Okay, I did notice. Lucy, you're writing your answers down?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go to Woody first. Woody, what is the answer to that?
That would be Emilio!
Okay, he went with Emilio. Lucy, what did you say?
I said D, because I have not seen this movie.
She said D.
So it's just a stab in the dark.
See, I felt like this, Lucy. I felt like you would have at least gone A or B, because those are the only real people.
And also, Lucy, do you know that those two guys are brothers? Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen?
I do know that.
All right. And so is Carlos.
Well, Charlie, his name is Carlos.
No, Carlos is the third brother.
No. Charlie's real name is Carlos Estevez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third brother's name is Brian.
Brian Miller. All right, we're going to go to question number 2. Right now, it is Woody with a 1-0 lead over the lovely Lucy Murray. Here we go. Question number 2. In the movie Mission Impossible, the theme song was once featured in a video game. Was that video game Impossible Mission? A, Impossible Mission, B, Spy Hunter, or C, Mission Impossible? Or D, both B and C?
What was the question again?
The theme to this movie was featured in
the theme song?
The theme song to a video game called Impossible Mission, B, Spy Hunter, C, Mission Impossible, or D, both B and C? All right.
This is a trick question.
We'll have to go to Woody first. Woody, what is the answer to that question that you came up with?
I'm going to go with C.
He went with C, Mission Impossible. And Lucy, what did you say?
I said C.
I'm sorry, you're both incorrect. The correct answer was, Rob?
D.
It was D.
Yes.
Spy Hunter and Mission Impossible.
That's a context clues one, because I knew it was in Spy Hunter, but I also knew if there being a Mission Impossible game, they're not going to not put the song in there.
That's correct. Very good. Very good by... now, I'm sorry, I can't award you any points because you are on the show today, Rob. But thank you very much for your insight.
We forgot to clap for Woody on the first
It is 1-0. Okay, remember that one time that Woody got 1 point? All right. All right, so it is now 1-0. It's Woody with a commanding lead going into question number 3, which, of course, is about the movie Mission Impossible. In the movie Mission Impossible, towards the end, on what car of the train is the money located? On what car of the train is the money located?
There's no way that you're watching.
On what train? Wait, on what car of the train is the money located?
I got it.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty clear question.
Woody, let's go ahead and go to you, since you have seen the movie and you are not writing it down.
It is the baggage car.
All right, he said the baggage car. And Lucy, what did you write down?
I said car 3.
Bless her heart.
Ironically enough, the right answer.
Yeah, what if it was?
Well,
we don't know she's wrong.
Well,
there was like a number 3 on the side of it. You didn't see it?
No, I'm sorry.
Neither did she.
She's got 2 chances. The third car
3
from the back.
or from the front?
I'm sorry, Lucy. That is incorrect. Woody, you are correct. It is in the baggage car. That is right. We're going into question number 4. Woody leading 2-0. Never fear, Lucy. You can totally catch him, even if you haven't seen the movie, by just guessing correctly on the next 2 questions. All right, question number 4 will, of course, be about the movie Mission Impossible. in the movie Mission Impossible. The lead up to the most iconic scene in the movie where he drops and almost touches the floor, that is caused by A, too much cold air in the air conditioner shaft, B, a snake, C, a rat, or D, the smell of pepperoni pizza. That's right. The cause of the iconic scene where he drops and he almost touches the floor is caused by A, too much cold air in the air shaft, B, a snake, C, a rat, or D, the smell of pepperoni pizza. Let's go ahead and go to Woody first. Woody, what is the answer to that question?
Well, you almost had me with the pepperoni pizza, but I'm going to go with rat.
He went with rat. And then, Lucy, what did you say?
A.
She said too much cold air in the shaft. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Woody has once again gotten that one right.
We've all had that problem before, you know.
Woody with the commanding lead. 3-0 going into question number 5, which is the last question from me. And I apologize for that. I know you're getting really excited about my questions as they come to you each time. All right, question number 5 about the movie Mission Impossible. Here we go. In the movie Mission Impossible, towards the end of the movie, Jim and Ethan meet back up after Jim is supposedly dead. In what country does that meeting happen? Jim and Ethan meet up towards the end of the movie after Jim is supposedly already dead. In what country, frequented by Bowling for Soup, does that meeting happen?
That was a softball, Lucy.
I wrote this down before you even said that.
All right, let's go to Woody first.
That'd be the UK.
All right, let's go to Lucy.
Also, UK.
Yeah, she said they both got it right. Give it up for the...
She got it a little more right because he was too broad. She said England.
It was Leeds.
It was England.
Leeds.
It wasn't...
He could have meant Cardiff, which is in Wales.
Right.
Or
could
Edinburgh.
That part of Ireland.
We've got to give it to him, though. I'm giving him the UK. All right, it is 4-1. Lucy, it's not looking good. But we now go to Rich with Rich's bonus question.
Okay. Here's the task. List all 6 Mission Impossible movies in order, leaving out the ones I have made up. Here they are. Mission Impossible 3, Mission Impossible Fallout, Mission Impossible 4, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible Under Siege, Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and Mission Impossible 2. List those in order, leaving out the ones I made up. There's two.
I think I have those
There's
ones.
2 I made up.
I'm a little worried about Woody having to do this by memory.
That's all right. He's a trained soldier. He's got this.
Okay, you got it.
He's not a soldier. He's a Marine.
Do you guys?
I got you, buddy.
Do you guys? And once you're one of those, you are always.
You're always. Yeah.
Do you guys need him to repeat the question?
Yes.
I'm going to leave out the Mission
I already
Impossibles,
know.
and I'm just going to list them out. 3,
Okay.
Fallout, 4, Ghost Protocol, and you can just say Ghost or whatever. Under Siege, nothing, because Rogue Nation, and 2, because I left out the mission. Anyway,
yeah,
that should have been funny.
That was really funny. I was just sitting
Wasn't
here.
good radio though.
But I was sitting here trying to think, how are they going to get if that one they forget that's on the list? All right, I'll just give them credit if they.
All right.
You know.
3, Fallout, 4, Ghost Protocol, Under Siege. What do they call that when you self-titled or something?
Yeah, self-titled.
Self-titled, Rogue Nation, and 2.
All right.
In order, leave out the 2 I made up.
All right, so we do have to go to Woody first. It does look like that Lucy has finished writing. She's finishing touches right now. And let's now go to Woody. Go ahead, Woody.
All right, you got Mission Impossible.
Yep.
Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3. I want to say
The ones you have left are
Nation and Protocol.
What did he say?
Say it one more time.
To the Siege of a Nation and then Protocol.
No.
He said Rogue
Fallout.
Oh.
Rogue Nation, Ghost Protocol. And there's one more.
Yeah, Rogue Nation. Fallout, Ghost Protocol, and Rogue Nation.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, got it. All right. Lucy?
Okay, Lucy.
I said Mission Impossible 2, 3, 4, and then Ghost Protocol.
Okay, you're missing one more.
Under Siege.
Okay. You're both wrong.
Yeah.
Woody just had him out of order. So he's closest, but
3 comes before 2.
It's 1, 2, 3, Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and then the new one coming out as you're about to listen to this next Friday, Fallout.
I gotta be honest, I thought that was a trick question.
I thought Ghost Protocol was made up.
I thought it was all made up. I thought it was just Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, 4. The end.
I actually thought it was a trick question another way. That I didn't remember there being a 4, and I thought 4 was just named something else. That's another trick question.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, the point is both of you guys missed that. We do have a 4-1 lead with Woody going into... Do we have a super hard question?
We do.
We
That
do.
was a
Who's
pretty
going to
hard
read
question.
that?
Not for fans.
So Uncle Robert is here.
Uncle Robert's going to read this
Uncle
one?
Robert
All right.
is here with the super hard question. Now, Lucy, you're going to get to answer this. If you get this right, you win. Doesn't matter what your score is. That's it. So we'll send it over to Uncle Robert right now.
All right, now this is a question that I'd asked on the Match Game 1974. Name the European city in Mission Impossible that also was featured in Casino Royale, a James Bond film.
Prague.
Woody?
No, he doesn't get a chance to answer. You tell her if that's...
right. Yeah.
Wow, she won.
She got it right. Oh,
my
God.
Did you just completely guess?
Did she pull that out of her ass?
Did you know that? Or something?
How did she know that?
No, I didn't know that. I guess.
You guessed Prague?
Who
guesses Prague?
So here's the thing. It doesn't happen a lot, but Lucy comes in with the Hail Mary, and Woody's driving cross country, sitting in Monroe, Louisiana, in a McDonald's parking lot.
Kicks ass. Watch the movie.
Kicks ass. Watch the movie.
He looks
and
pissed.
She just comes in with just like fancy workout headphones on, and is just like,
didn't even have time to take them off yet.
See you later. Hit the showers.
Prague, I'm out.
It was a little quick to answer.
Yeah, it was quick compared to her other ones.
Well, congratulations, Lucy. Woody, you're not a loser, but you didn't win, did you?
Did you text Lucy the answer?
I don't have her number.
Oh.
Hey, seriously, to both of you guys, thank you so much for your patience tonight. Woody, safe travels on the drive. Good luck there in the Carolinas. And Lucy, we will see you again before long, and y'all be safe, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, guys. I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, who the fuck does that?
Central Europe unsecured.
Designator.
Bravo, Echo 1-1.
Switching.
This is Kittredge.
Go secure.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Ethan Hunt. They're dead.
Wait, who's dead?
My team. My team is
Context, please.
dead! Galitzin's gone. They knew we were coming, man. They knew we were coming, and the disc is gone.
Are you intact?
The disc is gone. Do you read me? The list is in the open!
Listen, I read you. Let's just bring you in safely, and then we'll worry about that, okay? Were you followed?
Did you take your meds?
Don't think. Be sure. Are you clean? Okay, location green, 1 hour. I'll be there myself.
You're in Prague?
1 hour.
Classic Tom Cruise acting right there.
So
Gonna yell one line.
I actually have a little bit of experience with this delivery here.
Oh.
But I was on the other side of it.
Oh.
So he calls up and he's like, first of all, like, Bravo Apple 1-1 is just, God, that's fucking simple. Like, why did he have trouble thinking about that? Like,
why did he have to look
up? I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. I mean, I get he's in distress. Bunch of people died. So he...
well, his other one is Bravo Apple 2-2.
Shit. That was fucking hard to remember. So, anyway, he gets him on the phone, says, this is Ethan Hawke, and they're dead, is his first thing, right?
Seriously, context.
So I've been on the receiving end of this thing via text message, right?
They're dead?
No, it's...
So one day, I'm in bed, right?
My whole team was killed.
My phone starts ringing, but it starts ringing at like 6 a.m. And at the time, my grandmother wasn't doing that great health-wise. And so my mom called me, and I think I tried to answer, and it like went dead. And then my aunt called me like right after, and I was just like, I'm not fucking answering this. Like, I can't do this right now. Like, I knew what was about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew I'm going to answer the phone. My grandma's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that.
Right.
You know? And so Casey's like, you've got to answer the phone. Like,
you need a minute?
You've got to. No, I'm good.
Okay.
He's like, you've got to. I'm not crying. I'm trying not to laugh. It looks the same.
Right.
So Casey's like, well, you've got to answer the phone. They're obviously trying to get a hold of you. Listen, give me 20 minutes to sit here and just not know, and let me figure this out, you know? And so I did, and she did. And, you know, we laid there, and it was early, and we were just, you know.
Do you have sex?
No. Yes.
Promise.
I'm like, I don't remember. Maybe.
So I get a text from my mom, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And Casey at that point had got up and gone to the bathroom. And I open up the text.
And I'm in the bathroom, like, checking my text messages from his mom, thinking I need to call her or something.
And I just start, and this is so insensitive.
It is very.
But I couldn't help. I just died laughing.
All I hear is, like, some noises from the bedroom. And I'm like, oh, fuck, he's, like, probably really upset.
And and again, this is fucked up.
And I feel like it's not going to come over as funny as, like,
It's not going to come over as funny because you just need to know my mom. But I just got a text and it just said, Greg's dead.
Period.
That's it.
Who's Greg?
Yeah.
But how did she say it?
How did what?
How did your mom say it?
Oh, she said, hey, well, in her word, if I'd have answered the phone, hey, baby, it's Mama. Greg's dead.
Period.
So I'm not trying to make a goof out of this because it was my Uncle Greg, and Galen, my aunt, had called. And...
Oh, the no dog guy?
No, that was like
no. That's my brother-in-law, who's not really my brother-in-law now.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not related to any of those.
Oh, we can make jokes about him
we
all
can
the
do
time.
whatever the fuck we want now.
But it's just knowing your mom, like that delivery, just like Greg's dead. Like
it was
after
just
the 6 a.m. phone call.
But I had just spent
she could have relayed
20
that
to
message
30
later.
minutes thinking that my grandmother was dead. But it turns out my uncle had died. I'm not close with him, and and it is sad. And he had a daughter and a wife, obviously, and a whole thing. But that's what I got. Greg's dead. No, like, hey, they found Greg this morning and yada yada blah blah.
I have some bad news.
Yeah, something like
Your
that.
Uncle Greg passed on.
Something. Just Greg's dead. So as soon as he said they're dead, I'm just like, yeah, I've been on the receiving end of this call before.
Yeah, throw me some details or like.
I don't mean to be insensitive, but
that's where.
At least he said Greg and not he's dead.
Yeah, he's
that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Jesus
he goes
Christ.
with the pronoun here, so you got like at least who it was. You had an identifier.
I will be honest; it took me a minute to figure it out, which is terrible.
Greg who?
But, yeah, I was just like.
Well, you also didn't have the title, so don't beat yourself up about that.
Yeah.
It didn't say Uncle.
Yeah,
Greg, you know?
exactly.
As
Yeah,
a
I
matter
mean,
of
I
fact,
do.
it would have thrown me for a loop if I didn't get the
and I
title
am not
first.
in any way making light of any of this.
Excuse me for not being formal, Jaret.
Yeah. Hey, baby, it's Mama. I'm sorry I said Greg's dead, but he's dead.
What?
There he is.
So, why don't we quietly get out of here onto a plane? I can understand you're very upset.
Kittredge, you've never seen me very upset.
All right, Hunt. Enough is enough. You have bribed, cajoled, and killed, and you have done it using loyalties on the inside. You want to shake hands with the devil, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure that you do it in hell.
Here we go.
Get
Your scene, Rob.
Get ahead of there, Ethan.
One of the greatest stunts of all time.
And he did it himself, believe it or not.
Here he goes.
Oh!
Okay, he's on the ground. Everything's fine.
He's out.
Oh, my.
I got a question, though.
Yeah.
How fast does chewing gum soak up water enough to become sticky?
Yeah, I didn't think about that until watching this particular watch. And this one, I was just like...
Oh, well, it's not chewing gum, though. It's an entirely different...
But it's not sticky.
You don't know that. They never told us whether it was or wasn't. This actually...
Okay, then why did he hit the glass?
I don't know, to blow up the... I don't... To make
No,
a dramatic effect.
He hit the glass to make it wet.
Hit the glass
so that
to make it wet.
Right.
Exactly.
So that we would go, oh, he wet it.
Yeah, he
Why
moistened it up.
Why would the glass have... Oh, you mean on the table?
Yeah,
I thought
so
it
he
was just...
hit
Honestly,
the-
I thought it was just in his way.
No, he was
As he
hitting
was
the
throwing
glass
it.
of water to make the gum sticky.
Correct.
Oh,
So
I
that
didn't
it
know
would
that.
stick.
I thought it fell under the version of, like, Star Wars shit, where it's like, doesn't matter, it works. You know, like...
Yeah.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
when I upon the other viewing, but you know.
Now, how come he goes straight to Angelina Jolie's dad's hotel, and nobody else in the world knows where that is?
No, that was their headquarters. They were told to go there
That
at
was
4
their-
a.m. if
yeah.
shit went bad. That's where they were doing
I know,
their
but
briefing.
why is that a secret from... Why wouldn't the uppers know about that shit?
Maybe when they send them out to do their stuff, they're like, only you guys know about
It was
this.
probably
Plausible
operational.
deniability.
Just, here's the thing.
I'm going to be
We're
honest.
running the op. We're going to meet here. It's not something that Langley's going to know about.
I'm going to be completely honest. I did not expect you guys to have an answer for that.
Oh, shit. It was rhetorical?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I'm glad you fucking did, but I was sitting there going, there's no fucking way this place. Like, you know, like...
Yeah, I could see that.
We're
They're
on the
not
same-
going
I
to
think
tell
we're on the same
everybody.
thing, right? It's their operation.
Right.
Keep it within them. That way nothing can leak. It's almost
Right.
like a jury duty. You know? You don't talk about the shit so that no one
Right.
can have any
It's just
sort
like
of influence on it.
It's just like jury duty.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean?
I'm trying to put
I'm
that
making
together.
sense there. No, when
No, it made
you're
sense.
told not to speak
But it's
about it
just-
so that no one can have any influence
Yeah.
on your decision making.
I'm
So
trying-
for,
okay.
for the few of them,
Yeah.
they're probably told to keep this between them.
It's also probably
so that
like,
no
why would they
outside
need to know that?
influences can-
Like, that's just something that each operation does on their own. They have a safe space. They pick it on the spot so no one else could know about it.
This guy's on an expense account, and he's renting these things on a fucking credit card.
well, they
that the-
find a paper trail if they need. They just didn't have to look into it yet. It's all happening real quick.
Yeah, it's all. It's
Maybe that's it. I
They're doing
feel like
business, business.
Yeah, it's not like on Ant-Man where he learned karate in like fucking 3 days.
He evolved his karate. He learned some tricks.
The ants showed him something.
Now, if you've never heard,
You're making fun of the scene, but this movie was sold on 2 scenes. This was one of them, and then the hanging in the white room was
we
the
know
other one.
which one.
Yeah.
The other one is.
And he did this stunt on his own, and that it was really lame looking when you think about it.
I always thought that the other big stunt scene was him jumping onto the train from later on with the explosion of the helicopter and him flying onto the train. That's the other iconic stunt moment, I thought.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know
maybe.
about this one as much with the stupid glass.
Well,
no,
no,
this
I
was
think-
a big deal
I
on the
think-
promos.
I
On
think
the
this is
trailers,
a-
this was in the
You
trailer.
know why? Because it looks
I don't
like he's
remember that.
jumping off a goddamn building.
Yeah, but he's jumping off a sidewalk.
He's jumping out of a fucking exactly. He's jumping out of a fucking window display onto the fucking sidewalk, and I better run away from this fish tank.
But it was
which has magically flooded an
It is
entire
pretty-
restaurant.
It is pretty crazy. It was
lot
like
of fish were in there.
16,000 gallons or whatever it was.
So many gallons.
Of that were falling above him.
Yeah.
On down, he had to jump out, and then it blew right as he was jumping out of it.
What's a
So it was
suspicious amount of water.
a dangerous stunt that he did.
Right.
But this was like the first stunt that he did that then took on a life of its own. Now in all of his movies, he does all of his, not all, but most of his
He
own
does most of
stunts.
it. And again, I
which is
give
pretty
him that.
awesome.
No,
Be-
I think
Was
that's-
there a
him
sea
on the
turtle
side.
in there?
Him on the side of the plane is insane.
It's insane. I agree.
That's crazy, and it came across really well on
I
film.
totally agree. I 100%.
So I
agree
like
with you.
that he does that. And if he
I do too.
dies, who cares? I'm just kidding. I don't want him to die, but at the same time,
Okay,
he's a
let's-
Scientologist.
Let's dial that one back a little bit.
They're dead.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
I
we'll
was
get
gonna-
a call.
I was gonna go.
Someone
with,
will tell he's dead,
he's
and we'll be
dead.
fine.
I was gonna go with Greg's dead, but I feel like that was getting way too insensitive. I got cousins and shit, right?
Right.
All right. So, oh, what was I going to talk about? Okay, so here's where I was headed with this.
All right.
If you've never watched or listened to, by the way, we stream these. So just go to JaretGoesToTheMovies.com and you can either watch this or listen to it. But obviously, if you're listening right now, thank you. Now, what the fuck is going on over there? Is that you, Rob?
Yeah.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is getting a little burpy alert. Couple of burps. If you've never listened to a Tom Cruise podcast on this show, I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'm gonna have to, because all I could think about was this, and I didn't know before, and I think I found out on Top Gun.
Mm-hmm. It was.
So Tom Cruise's top row of teeth are way the fuck off center.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look directly below his septum, septum, there's a tooth, not a gap. It seems like you're raising your hand with some information, Rob.
You brought him. You septum.
Well, Anthony Mangoya, his sister, used to do Tom Cruise's dental work, and she's the one that brought that to my attention.
Wait, what? Okay,
Yeah.
Anthony Mangoya is the drummer for Patent Pending. All around amazing. He's like the MacGyver of punk rock. Okay? True story. Go ahead.
His sister used to do his dental work. Used to do dental work.
Like clean his teeth, not align them?
Something. Well, I hope not. And I remember saying something to the effect of, like, jokingly, like, oh, are my teeth as nice as Tom Cruise's? And she goes, a lot of people don't realize his, like, front two teeth are off and the one's centered.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she was like, and you'll never unsee it.
No, you can't.
You can never unsee it again.
Oh, yeah.
I opened about 1,000 people's eyes to that on the Top Gun episode.
Man, I had no idea.
I never even knew that was a thing, and I've like realized that friends of mine have that, and I like stare at it.
You know, you're looking at everyone's teeth. I've looked at my own 100 times and be like, I hope I don't have it.
Here's the crazy part. Here's the craziest part about it. If you watch Outsiders, he doesn't have those teeth. He doesn't have these pristine white teeth. These are all what do they call them?
Veneers.
Veneers, because his teeth are fucked up. They're small, tons of space in it. Like that's not CGI. That's not something he's stuck in. You can't hide parts of your teeth on a film. Like they have to not be there.
What's veneers? Is that where they
It's just-
chisel them all
They
down?
chisel them down and then just put a bunch of fake
Yeah,
teeth.
they put
I know
fake
someone.
teeth around him.
I know
hate
someone
it.
who did that. He made a shit ton of money, and then told me he had every single one of his teeth blasted down, and then every single one's a fake thing. Every tooth in his head
Yeah,
is a veneer.
Jennifer has veneers. Do you know that?
Who
Jennifer
no, I
Yant,
didn't
all
know.
of her teeth are fake.
I didn't
She
know
had
that.
them like
Do you
all.
think
There's
chewing?
There's
with
been
that?
someone on this show that has veneers.
So do you
Probably
think
takes getting used to,
do you
right?
think chewing?
Let's
but,
think of people that Rich
but
brought
it's
on
like,
the show.
but it's like if you think about this, like chewing with dentures is supposed to like suck. Like you don't really
no, it's
feel
the same. The veneers.
Are you sure?
Your nerves are still there. They just like attach. It's just different.
Yeah, they just shave all the
It's like an
their
implant.
outside, and then they make room enough to put like little porcelain chiclets in there.
Yeah,
around it,
and you
then
feel
they
it the same.
Yeah, I mean, you,
Is
like
the
if
gums
you
like-
wiggle
Is
your
that veneer, or
teeth,
is that
you'll
like
feel
an
it
implant?
wiggle.
Like what did like
Did
a
the
veneer
gums
is an
like
implant.
grow
neighbor
around
have.
it?
Christian has an implant. He has a one tooth implant that they screwed into his jawbone.
So that's what our neighbor has. He has all of the shit's gone,
Yeah.
and his teeth are literally screwed in.
He sent his Christmas card. It was just him. It was like post divorce, and
Yeah.
it was just him by himself, single.
Oh,
and
that's Paul, right?
yeah. I
Well-
was saying our neighbor. I don't know. But, like,
Also, my idea, best Christmas card ever.
and it's like him. He brought a Santa hat to his visit, and he has a Santa hat, and he has like no teeth in his mouth at all, and he's like, "Hey!"
And I mean, it looks just like you think it looks. Like,
Oh my
homeless
God.
dude, you know, and this
Santa.
dude is like, he's with it. And you know,
he's a dapper
he's
dude,
the
man.
fucking best.
He's the best, and he smells good, and he wears
Love
pink
that dude.
pants.
Oh, he dresses amazing.
So I can't stop looking. Okay, so then obviously Tom Cruise has the bad dream, and then Claire shows up, and
they start hitting on each other or whatever.
yeah, then here's what happens. So, well, they haven't started hitting on each other yet.
All right.
First, what happens, Rob, if you'll remember, is the rapiest scene in cinematic history. He rips her coat off, turns her around,
Oh, yeah.
pulls her hair and shit, frisks her, pushes her on the bed, jumps up on top of her, and they have this
Pushes
whole...
her hands down.
Pushes her hands back
like
behind
a
her.
fucking dolphin.
Oh, my God.
That's where her throat is.
Roadhouse.
Oh, my God. That's fucking funny. And it's the most uncomfortable... Like, all three of us sat there watching. Me and Rob and Casey watched this together. And as that scene is going, all of us are like, no, stop it. No, you can't
Usually
do
have
that.
sex in the middle of the movie. Did
You
that
could-
not happen?
we
this
couldn't
time?
have sex.
Nah.
No, we did it before.
Way to go, Rob.
You say usually, like you know, like
Yeah.
That, you,
No, we just have before.
yeah.
You know.
Many.
But no, the so yeah.
you pick some boring ass movies, Rich.
Yeah, well, that's true. So as we're looking around, that scene ends, and it's like you could never remake that scene ever. You could never do that. You can't
Like
do
nowadays.
that scene ever again.
It also didn't need to happen at
No,
all. It
and-
didn't like it wasn't like some huge plot device, and it wasn't like this thing where it like made anyone's character do anything different. All it did was just happen, and then not happen. And that-
Nothing
that
in
was
this
it.
movie up until the middle part needed to be in this movie.
That's so true.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get it for him.
Ethan, you're not making any sense.
We were just
Whoever
about
the
to
mole
have
is.
sex.
I think goes by the name of Job. I can't find him, but if he knows I have a knock list, he'll find me.
I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna talk to Kittredge myself, and I'm gonna tell him you had nothing to do with this.
Claire, if you're not dead, he's gonna assume you're with me.
that's how my emails show up.
Same.
I would have launched my phone out of a window.
Like your hot pocket's ready.
Message for Job.
That's right.
And there's a stamp on it.
Well, it's mail.
Job at book space of space Job.
This is not how email works. Holy Jesus.
no.
For the IMF, it does.
As soon as he started typing Max at Job, and then he hit a space, I'm like, why is he hitting a space? And then he hits a 3, and then he hits a colon. I'm like, you can't have a colon or a space. And then it's like just 314. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And
same
then,
thing.
and then he's just sending it out into the ether. And then someone that isn't
has captured it.
Because it's not like he knew what the email address was.
No.
He just was putting
That's a
words
great
together
point, yeah.
that were like keywords.
He's gonna
and
figure.
he's going to email the keywords
And
out,
literally-
and then someone's going to see those keywords
It's
and
the
go,
equivalent
"Oh
of,
wait, that's an interest of mine. I'll read this email,"
Pretty much
and
like
then
you put a
reply to
hashtag
it.
out on Twitter.
Yes,
You know?
that's exactly what it seemed like he was doing. He's like just hashtagging on Twitter. Maybe someone will be interested in the same thing that I'm interested in. Click on it and then reply to me. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
The best quote, by the way. That is a fucking good quote by you.
What?
About that? That's that commercial that we love. With
Yeah,
old
no,
ladies.
I fucking say
Do
that
you-
all the time.
Same.
Like
All
by myself in
the
my
time.
house, and I'll be arguing with no one.
Yeah.
And I'll say that's not how this works.
That's not how any of this works. It's the fucking great. It's like
Her posting stuff on the actual wall.
Yeah.
Is the funniest thing I've ever
It
seen
is
in my life.
one of the funniest commercials that's ever fucking happened ever. Do you know what we're talking
I'm
about?
gonna unfriend you.
No clue.
So there's like it's essentially like a what?
Play the video. Yeah, play it. You can Google it.
Oh, play. What
It's
was
not,
the?
It's not how this works. Facebook wall. I bet probably
Is it Facebook wall?
not how any of this works.
Yeah, I agree.
We should have just asked the chat room for a link. Oh, they can't put links in there.
No, this is so
there it is right there. Yeah.
fucking funny.
This is an ad for a project management tool.
God damn it, not this
This
part.
is what it looks like, and this is what it feels like.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I save 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With eSurance, 7.5 minutes could save you on
You
car
all
insurance.
along.
Welcome to the
It's
modern
so
world.
me and Casey
eSurance.
used to watch.
unfriend you.
Me and Casey used to watch that shit and literally die
That's the best one
laughing.
ever.
Oh my god! I mean, like we would both be crying, and we would rewind it and like watch it over and over because they're like. They're the perfect old ladies too. There's like the friend that's just like the I just agree with everything.
Oh yeah, one of them didn't say a word.
Yeah. Well, every old lady trio has like the one that's
Yeah.
just like, I just think everything's great all the time. You know, it's so fucking great.
It's so good.
And then the oblivious one, and then the one with the smart son. All right. So I did want to point out that much of this movie and several scenes of this movie are shot as POV and point of view.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you would just hate this movie because of that, because you hated that band so fucking much.
That's so true. You really did.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have broken Rich.
Roadhouse. I actually made a joke. There was some guy named Ryan Holiday did something, and I was going to send you a link, and I go, isn't this your old bandmate? I don't remember what it was. It was some interview with some guy named Ryan Holiday.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, wait, no, that was
I never realized
Vacation.
that POV was like a porn thing until you were in the band. And I was like Instagram stalking you to make sure you weren't like kissing girls in the mouth when you
It's
were
not
dating.
a porn thing.
So I
It is a porn thing.
I mean,
No, it
it's
is.
a porn thing like
Jaret.
Like camera is
No,
a porn
so
thing.
I would like.
Oh, go you
no,
first. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, but I would like go in there and like because I got like a whole system to track in your ass all over the place.
Oh, she knows everything.
You
I
can
do.
put like hashtag Jaret. I can see his fucking shoulder in any bar anywhere from some random girl anywhere. Like so, I like hashtag this hashtag POV, and I was like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I was like on Instagram, and it was still like a lot of just.
You're like,
naked
that's
people.
not his penis.
It was just a weird thing, and then I was like,
Plus,
oh,
you could
porn thing.
at POV you couldn't see my penis; it'd just be my belly, because it's like going down like this. You know what I mean? Like,
But I asked you about this.
unless it was from her point of view, then you'd be able to check it out.
We were
Who?
one of the times
Oh, you know who? I'm kidding. I don't know.
was one of, we were touring together,
Yeah,
and the two bands, and
yeah, patent pending and POV.
yeah, and I asked you, I was like, hey, like at one point, I actually know where I was because that venue closed, Leeds Cockpit, and I loved
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
place.
yeah, that was a good venue.
Yeah, but I remember walking from one side to the other, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. Jared's like, is this why you named this band? Is like, did you take the acronym and do that? And you're like, actually, no, I didn't think of that at all.
I didn't.
Pretty much. You're like, nope, it had nothing to do with that.
No, I named that band in a songwriting competition that like I just thought that it was like a really cool name for a band, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. That's we've
that story.
We've already given that band way more fucking airtime than they need. And then he meets Max, and oh my god.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10, or 11. It's the Richter scale again.
Who's Max?
Max is the older lady who at the end wants to blow the dude
yeah.
for some info
She
and
straight
shit.
up says it.
She straight up just says, I probably have some. I'm going to be honest.
You would have done it.
I would.
I know.
For sure.
She was not
when she,
unattractive.
No, when actually, when she got in Tom Cruise's face the first time, I'm just like, dude, just take her in the bathroom and just bang her. and you know what? Set that fucking long-haired dude that fucking looks like a wrestler, like outside the door to
Oh, yeah,
just
what was
guard
that
the
guy's
fuck-
deal?
He
So he was useless in that movie.
100%. And we're going to talk about that guy in just a second. All right. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry. You want me to play it
We're
again?
not doing Max.
Okay.
We're doing Emmanuel.
So who is that?
She's the French girl.
Claire?
Claire. Yeah.
Claire.
Yeah.
Claire.
Okay. Emmanuel.
Just call
How do
her
you
John
pronounce it?
Voight's wife.
Okay, John Voight's wife. Hair.
Wait, does that mean she's Angelina Jolie's mom?
Stepmom.
See what I did there?
You could do that.
She has the lips in this
Yeah.
picture.
Hair 11, eyes 11, nose 11, Mouth 11. Face 11. She has a perfect face hair combo thing. That was all great.
I thought her hair was kind of like a little.
No, I mean it was full. It was brown. It was just the times, right?
I just thought
the
her.
times.
I really felt like her hair was kind of.
She's got naturally kind of fuzzy, fine.
Yeah.
hair.
Okay, then
I thought it was too
let me
fine.
change it. Let me change it then.
I thought her hair was too fine.
It had no substance.
It's too thin.
Right?
9. I'll give her a 9.
Oh, we fucking demoted her 2 points.
Yeah, take that.
Wait,
we fucked up the calendar.
It was 11 out of what?
The calendar.
I did 11 out of 11.
Okay. With the Spinal Tap.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
You want me to open it for you?
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
All right. Arms 10, boobs 6, a respectable 6. Waist 9, ass 11. Her ass is pretty amazing. Legs 8. Overall, I give her 11. I find her very attractive. The problem I had with her personally was her voice was annoying as shit.
God, that's true.
Terrible.
Maybe we need to add that in.
Hey, she's not here for you to judge.
No, that's exactly what she's here for this. So it was a 10. I think it's probably like a 9.7, 9.8 now that I demoted her a
That's
little bit.
pretty fucking high.
Yeah,
She's
that is
hot, though.
I feel like something's going on with you because I feel like you've been like ranking people a lot higher than you used to. Like,
Wait,
you're just,
did
like,
you
in a good
actually do
mood.
the math on that? And that's the actual average of all those?
All right, so just and actually
It's
for
the,
Rob,
it's the Richter scale.
but also for Rob. Okay,
Yeah.
why don't you just give everybody because again, not everybody listens to
Right,
every
right.
episode. Give everybody a
So
history.
what happened
of,
is,
okay,
what happened is in the Caddyshack.
what happened was.
In the Caddyshack
Dude,
episode.
I have to tell you
All
this fucking story.
Go ahead.
What happened was just fucking it happened. It led me to this whole thing. I fucking hate rude people.
Uh-huh.
I fucking hate it. Right? I barely make my flight for Chicago to home the other night.
Okay.
Right? Because I booked it last minute or whatever. We got stuck in some traffic and shit. Whatever. I wasn't supposed to fly till the next morning. Trying to surprise my wife.
O'Hare's never on time anyway.
Anyway, so I wait in this line for this McDonald's, right? And I'm like, I got to eat something. I haven't eaten any fast food the whole tour except one night we had Taco Bell. That's
Yeah,
the only
that was
fast
like
we
the
had,
very beginning.
We had no fast food the entire tour. None. We actually never even ate pizza except for the one night. So like I'm like, fuck it, man. I haven't eaten any fast food anyway. I'll just wait on that and I'll just fucking get it. I'm waiting this whole line. And so the lady taking people's orders was the maddest individual that has ever lived, ever. She would not look up from the cash register.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
And like she's taking people's stuff or whatever, and she's yelling shit back at them, whatever. But instead of asking people what they would like to drink with their combo meal, she would ask, "What's your drink?" Swear to God. But in a derogatory tone, like, "What's your drink?" Like that. And I thought to myself,
Jewish girl?
yeah,
Yeah.
she was Jewish. So I thought this. I thought, you know, I'm going to kill her with kindness. I walked up. I called her ma'am and shit.
Right.
Nothing. No. Didn't even fucking ask about my tattoos. It always happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anytime somebody's mean, I'm super nice. They ask about my tattoos and shit. Go ahead with the Richter scale story. I'm sorry.
All right. So in the Caddyshack episode, there was a poster on the wall in the locker room of the you know the caddies, and it was a scale for women rating women, and it was this 12-point scale where they would rate certain aspects of the body, and then average them all out, and that's how you know if you're with someone you should marry or whatever. So I thought that the 12-point scale was pretty offensive to women. So what I did is I came up with my 11-point scale.
What did you get rid of?
Like feet or something like that. So since that episode, we've been doing this like almost every episode of rating the
And the ladies that listen love it.
Yeah, it's very popular with the ladies.
No, they do not like it.
No, nobody likes it. It's
Oh.
super offensive.
Also, I would have kept feet.
Of course,
I know
you're
would.
weird.
Yeah.
We argued about that for a while.
It's hard to get like everybody's feet though. Like
You can't
I
see
wonder
the
though,
feet.
but I was actually thinking during this time, like, how did you do her boobs? Like you,
She's naked on the internet. You can look at them up right now.
but
It has to be
you
from the
always do it
movie.
from in this time or whatever.
Okay.
Also, send me that link.
I have a buddy.
They actually, she got a 6 because they kind of look in different directions. They're like a lazy eye.
she could have just been like leaned over a little.
I
No.
fucking love lazy eyes. I love them.
I know, but not when they're boobs.
I have a
You
buddy
can't
back
call
home
them lazy boobs.
who instead of a scale, he does this just based on binary. He always says 1 or 0.
Would I or wouldn't I?
Not just would I or wouldn't I. It's just like, do I find her attractive or do I not find her attractive? And he's like, he finds his threshold and he's like, yes or no. And if he does, he'll approach said lady if we're like out at a bar.
Yeah.
That's it. He's binary.
Yeah, I think that's how I am in real life, but this is just having
This
fun
is
on
real
the
life.
show. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
Well, this is doing a podcast. And,
Rich is body shaming.
What?
That is the question I want to ask Job.
I don't know Job any more than Job knows me.
Even so, I'm sure you could arrange an introduction.
Why should I?
Because I can deliver the actual knock list. The one you have is not only worthless, it's certain to be equipped with a homing device to pinpoint your exact location.
Mm-hmm.
Boot it up. In anywhere from 30 seconds to 10 minutes, you'll have Virginia farm boys hopping around you like jackrabbits.
she's been there before.
It's easy to say the disc is worthless when you say I can't look at the information and see if it's worthless. Not a tenable position, sir.
Okay, use it. But I'd suggest you pack first.
Well, he warned her, you know.
3 things.
Yep.
I want to see what she looks like when she was younger.
Really pretty. I found
You
pictures.
pulled that up.
Yeah, I did.
And the guy in the background with the long hair, was he the guy from Die Hard?
No, but he looks just like him.
He does.
And that's what I actually wrote down. He's going to, I'm like, Tom Cruise is 100% going to fight this fucking guy. It's going to happen. And that guy ends up being like a dad on Disney shows and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
that guy?
He's Good Luck Charlie. He's
oh,
like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
he's heavier. He's like bigger now, though, right?
Richard.
Bigger.
Oh, she's beautiful.
I thought he was in Nelson.
You can't see that far.
There she goes.
All right, and then
Just like an angel.
And then 3, he asked for $150,000.
Yeah.
And they act like this is a lot of money in this world. Which
I was wondering that too. I'm like, how much do these people get? Maybe he's like really underpaid for this clearly very dangerous job.
yeah, doesn't he make that a year?
I
like,
didn't
No,
feel like
he's asking for that because he's supposed to appear to be working for someone else. Like
That's
he-
correct.
not- he
yeah,
doesn't
you
personally
work for
want that money.
$500,000 or $1 million.
No,
You
no,
don't
no.
work for $150,000.
No, but he's trying to line it up with what the other dude did, 125.
Yeah, but
Job-
why would the other guy work for 125? He could just get a regular job.
He
for
didn't.
that.
He got 125 to frame his parents, but at the end of the day, when he comes back with the disc, he gets $6 million. What Tom Cruise did is he asked for 150 and then 10 million. So he's playing it right.
He's playing it
playing
up.
I didn't
right.
hear the
Just a
10
little
million
something on
part.
top.
That
Oh, yeah,
happens
yeah.
in the car. That happens in the car later.
But he didn't. But he didn't ask for the 10 million right there. So he's
Right
just
there,
like
he's asking for,
like
like, a deposit.
150,000.
But he's playing it correctly because basically, if he just went in and he goes dryly, I want $150,000. So obviously, they're like, okay, the fuck do you want $150,000 for? Do you know what I mean? Like they don't even know why.
That's why they
he
didn't
wants
take him. If he had said 5 million right off the bat, they probably would have taken him a little serious.
No,
because
no.
it wouldn't have lined up with the
exactly.
other. Yeah,
He's basically trying to one up Job.
I understand that, but I'm just saying in this world, that amount of money just sounds piddly.
At this point in the movie, I was
Also,
watching
it's
a lot of
1996.
Instagram stories.
I'd say that 20 something.
Deleting my emails.
I'd say 150,000 20 something years ago is more than it is now.
Yes, that's true, but not that much more.
Well, you know,
It'd be like
back
saying-
then a movie
it just felt Austin
a movie
Powers
was a
where
quarter.
he's like $1 million, and they're all
Well,
laughing
back
at him.
then, the motion pictures were only a quarter.
Tell us about
Right.
Hey, tell us about 1996 and like what prices were, Uncle Robert.
Well, you take the train. They'd actually pay you. They deposit you a nickel to take the train, and you'd get it back to buy a loaf of bread.
That's so funny that you noticed the long hair dude too, because I did as well. Now, why wouldn't she have already booted up the disc? Why now? Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they just been like? Because it's like
That's not how discs work
no,
either.
Well, also, but you get the fucking disc, you're like, throw that motherfucker in. Let's see what we got, right?
What were they checking for? The temperature of the disc or something? Like if,
No, that's later. The temperature thing.
No,
That's
I
not
couldn't
yet.
figure that out.
That's
The
silly.
numbers thing.
all of
Sean,
that's silly. None
No.
of that is a thing.
I could not figure it. Like, okay, it's only 23. Okay, well, there's nobody around. Now there's 46.
Like literally, it's not like they have to do this in the split second. They could take that disc apart. It's a disc. It's a spinny. It's a record inside. So if they could take everything except for the record and go put it in another floppy disk container and put that in a computer. So if there's any kind of device that's calling to Langley, then they could throw that in the trash.
Right.
Well, no,
take
that
the
might be
disc
in
that
the
has
floppy
the
part.
data on it.
What might be in that?
No, I'm saying you literally take apart. You take everything except for the record the record that's in the inside
Yeah,
and
see,
go
this-
put that
but
in something
again,
else.
This is where you're getting to Star Trek, where I go to Star Wars, right? You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're getting there's this beautiful clip someone put side by side of the dude reading Rainbow Guy from Star Trek with the
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
You know,
Geordi.
Yeah, and and it's like it's him literally going through the processes for their ship to take off in a warp speed, and he's like, coolant like reacting at maximum war, like all this
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
And he's like walking around like making sure
Yeah.
everyone's got their shit going. He's like pushing buttons and doing it, reading shit, and then he's like, and we'll go, and then they take off, and then it's Han Solo and Chewie, punch it.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? You see, that's it.
That is so true.
The disc can tell them, right? That's it. That's all that matters.
But
The disc
I
tells
know
them.
how. But I know how discs work. I
You
don't
don't
know
know how
how
that disc
hyperspace works.
I'll tell you
no
what-
one knows how
No.
hyperspace
You're
works.
right.
That's the
You're
problem.
I have the hardest time though because again, just all this sexual tension between Ethan and Claire. There's too much sexual tension.
It's too much.
It's fucking weird.
It's fucking weird.
And not that I paid a lot of attention because at this point in the movie I was watching a rat take a shower. But
Oh my God, have you
Yeah.
seen that?
Well,
We're gonna post it on
That's
the movie.
old. That's like weeks and weeks old. Like
Oh,
months
it's
old.
old
Who
enough,
gives a
but it's
shit?
great.
Oh my God, it's the
It's
best
great.
thing I've
It's
ever
all-
seen.
yeah.
Oh my,
it's better than Mission
it's
Impossible.
the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
The best thing I watched today.
So I mean, but
that's
her,
the rat of Nim, by the way.
her husband just died. Like her husband just died, and even if she's supposed to be seducing him, which we'll find out later or whatever, he. I mean,
he's supposed to believe it. She
this
wants
is-
him to believe it.
This is his mentor. You know what I mean? Like, even here, there wouldn't be any
But
sexual
you know
tension.
they
part
had
of
sexual
me-
tension. This
part of
isn't
me's
the
like, they
first
did it
moment
before.
of sexual tension.
Yeah, part of me's like, they totally did it before.
They,
This never happened.
Oh,
Right off the bat, when he's giving her shit about coffee, I was like, are they flirting?
yeah.
Or
You know
when
what I
she,
mean?
wasn't she the one in the bed with the fake blood that looked horrible that was all sleepy for some
Yeah,
reason?
Yeah,
and he's
that's
on
her.
up in her, so it's like, why are they,
Right,
they're
they've
setting
already
that
been
up,
in
and it
this.
doesn't
Yeah,
make
they've
any
already been
sense.
doing
Like,
it.
the
I thought
entire
that was
movie
his
that
daughter. First of all, she was a little young for John Voight.
but she's older than Angelina Jolie.
Hey, age is just a number.
Hey,
that's
guys.
true.
You too.
So Ving Rhames and the French guy, and that guy is literally in every movie.
Wait,
ever.
were you just supporting James Gunn?
What?
Is that what
What?
you were doing? Age is just a number.
No, legal age is just a number.
Okay, legal age. Got it.
That the French guy is in every goddamn movie, and he always plays the French guy that smokes.
Yeah.
It's every fucking movie. Like he smokes in every single scene. Okay, so here are my this is my exact.
He's French.
Yeah, but
They
this
smoke.
is my. That's true. They're so stinky. So here's my exact notes. Ving Rhames and the French guy that's in everything talk about computers. Holy crap, Ving Rhames is the fucking worst. He's the worst actor. Like I can't. I don't even.
Jared, what do you mean?
Yeah, he goes. He literally has a he has a scene where his line should have been, I don't know, and he should have thrown that away.
Right.
He goes, I don't know. Like that, and just like right there, and you're just like, okay, you should have thrown that fucking away. Jesus Christ, like there was no emotion to that, like
Yeah.
you're not shaking your head.
I'm reading the lines
Nothing
off this
like,
page.
yeah, he's like,
I
but
am
it sounded
reading
more
them.
like this. I don't know. No, that didn't sound like him at all.
No, it was pretty close.
I don't think I can do Ving Rhames.
No, that was
all
all
bees.
deep.
Hold on, let me try. Hold on.
Bees.
All bees. All bees. All bees.
You had it right the first time.
All bees.
Now I want
Oh,
Arby's.
that was
That's pretty
That
good.
was good.
That's
it.
pretty good.
That's all
So
I
go.
got
So
there.
go. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if I can get it.
I don't know.
No, you had it right the first time.
I had it right the first time because I was
No,
able
you
to
had it right the
throw
first
an
time.
R out.
I don't know.
No, you lost it.
God damn it! I'm
Yep.
fucking
Catch it in
lost.
post.
That's right.
Now, inside the Black Vault, there are 3 systems operating whenever the technician is out of the room. The first is sound sensitive. Anything above a whisper sets it off. The second system detects any increase in temperature. Even the body heat of an unauthorized person in the room will trigger it if the temperature rises just a single degree. Now that temperature is controlled by the air conditioning coming in through an overhead duct 30 feet above the floor. That vent is guarded by a laser net. The third system is on the floor and is pressure sensitive. The slightest increase in weight will trigger the alarm. And any one of these systems, if set off, will activate an automatic lockdown. Now, believe me when I tell you, gentlemen, all 3 systems are state of the art.
And you really think we can do this?
We're going to do it.
Well, as we know now, the government has some of the worst security protocols in tech, so this is ridiculous. But what are they storing in there? Like
the NOS
okay,
list or whatever.
So
what is it called? Is that the one? Knock list. That's it.
Why? Like what? It's okay. So there's a computer inside this room that's not connected to any other system anywhere.
Well, it might be.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what they said. They said you can't hack into it because you have to be in the room on that terminal
It's
to
not like
access
they're
that
not using
data.
Google Drive.
Right. So, what good is it if he's the only person that can come in there? Is he bringing in a list from somewhere else and typing them in and then burning the list? Like, what's happening?
That's
like,
what I was
why
wondering.
is this?
That's what I was wondering.
It makes no sense.
I was wondering, what is he doing in there? Okay, so there's a list on the computer. And then
So we can't even have like a poster, like a picture of his family.
What
or, like,
kind of work does he do? Just look at the
Rooms
list.
he's Yeah, I just dressed got
a
order
list,
the
yeah,
list.
whatever.
Oh, I'm gonna do A's today. I'm gonna reorder these.
Well, no, I feel like that whole room is just secure storage, right? That would be like the most secure hard drive. For the
I know, but
CIA.
what's the fucking point of him having
Right.
this access to the place and coming in like it's like, okay, I'm going to work and I'm gonna do that.
Why can't this be a list, printed out list, and put in a vault or something? Like, there's not like a computer is storing millions and millions of lines of data. That's what how many agents could they possibly have? Not millions. They have enough to put on a notepad, maybe. Put that in a vault somewhere.
Yeah,
well,
but
when
why
they
do
started,
they need that
broken into?
when they started running it though, it was like a lot.
I mean, this is a vault, but they're like putting on it's like overkill. Like the
It's
whole
a little
thing
bit much.
is crazy overkill.
Well, the good news is they dress as firemen, which you can get in anywhere, and obviously one guard with an Uzi will take you wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So they'll take you up there, and then while you're going up the, I guess, however they got to the, I'm sure they took the elevator because it was like on the 125th floor or some
Right.
shit. There's a whole meeting going on, like wondering where the fuck Tom Cruise is, right? And guess what? He's already in the building. I fucking did it. They're the firemen. They're really doing this, right? And then one of them disappears, and nobody notices. Guess why? Because life everywhere else is fine. There's a guy with an Uzi running down the hall with 2 firemen. Everybody else acting like everything's just great. And nobody fucking even looks at them when they run by and shit, right? And so so the girl, she gets up, she dresses up as a hot chick. Obviously, you think she's a 9.78 or whatever. I think her voice to me, I don't really know your scale.
I had to strongly put that out of my mind.
I'm gonna be honest,
Because her voice brings her down to a 5.
I just told her not to talk. Be fine. So then she dresses up as a hot chick, comes out, everything's great. She's got clearance for everything that she needs and all that shit. Now these other 2 are still dressed up as firemen, and they run into a room. Right? It's like a room where they are having to run into with the guy with the Uzi, and then one kick, and the guy is out. Now
Right.
here's the thing.
Yep.
The French guy wants to stab him. But Tom Cruise says, hey, no body count, right? Thank God this guy stays fucking knocked out the entire time.
The entire time.
Just, I mean, because they're
They
in
didn't
this.
tie him up. They
Oh,
didn't do
no,
anything.
nothing. They're in there fucking another half hour at least, right?
Right.
And this guy's
I mean,
still
they had to
out.
crawl through the vents. They had
Everything.
to be careful.
And thank
like
God.
The whole thing.
Thank God he's still out.
Yeah, he's still
Man, that was a hell of a kick, Tom. Hell of a kick, Tom. Now, they do a lot of work in shafts on this movie.
Yeah.
You know,
What are you
there's
trying to say?
elevator shafts. There's air-conditioned shafts, you know. And now, as they're crawling through the military crawl through the shaft or whatever, did you notice that Tom Cruise is really good at it and his body doesn't sway or whatever? But the French guy looked like me trying to crawl through a fucking shaft. His whole body, he was having to work his whole goddamn body. And you could tell he had only done it like 4 or 5 times or whatever. And he was just like, they're going to have to use this take. Jesus Christ, I'm going to have to get out of here. This is fuck crazy. I'm in fucking air conditioning shaft and I hate it. And then all of a sudden, Ethan is the ceiling fan in that room right there because he's going down or whatever. The guy comes in. He hasn't puked yet. Ethan is just floating above him.
That's
and
not a
he's-
thing, by
and
the way.
he's-
You can't hang. You can't be on the ceiling and not be noticed. Like, that's not a thing.
You can't be in the room with somebody and not be noticed, dude. Like you
Especially
can
a tiny white
you
octagon
can
where
feel
nobody's
people,
allowed to be.
and he was moving. It was just like, dude, it's like
I realize that
This
on
is
the
ridiculous.
on the camera, the 16:9 camera, it's not showing, but people have peripheral vision. I can see. I'm looking straight ahead at you right now. I can see the entire ceiling above
we
me.
were watching, and Rob just goes like,
"Yeah."
He's like, you get that weird feeling. There's just a dude floating 3 feet above your head. Like, it's so true.
Yeah,
like,
but
you know, even if you didn't see him, you'd probably have that little sixth sense. It's like there's a dude literally
right there,
And there's
One-
so much not
so close.
noise in that room that you can't not make noise. I
No.
don't care what you're doing.
Right.
Like just the line spinning would make a noise.
Maybe there's like a psychological analysis here. Maybe he did know, but he didn't want to admit that he knew.
Could
you know what I
be.
mean? Like
he was just
some
that.
deep-rooted issues with his dad.
solved it.
He was just that sick. All right,
Yeah.
so a rat gets in
good.
the shaft or whatever. The guy eats
After
it
showering.
After taking a shower.
Yeah, after showering. And then we get the famous drop scene. It's the most famous scene of this. It was this scene was fucking groundbreaking, right? Now the thing that I didn't remember, I thought he was like he fucking dropped in and he just
Jaret.
was what?
Who was it?
Jarrett. It has to be Jarrett.
Yeah, I farted for sure.
God damn it!
I don't smell anything yet.
It's
Sorry, you want
there it is.
to
It's circling
take a
around.
break?
It's really bad. Did you shit your pants?
No, I'm
What do you
good.
call this?
That's Wonder Valve.
This works okay for me.
Wonder Valve. Yeah.
Wonder Valve activate.
Is it really that bad? I
It's
can't-
pretty bad,
I
dude.
can't
It's really
smell it.
bad.
It's really bad.
I got nothing.
That's weird. I can't smell it.
It's just hovering around me now.
Yeah. How can you guys all smell it? But Rob
Rob's been
can't.
on the bus with you for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, maybe
He's
I'm
immune to the
I really
smell.
can't fucking smell it.
Even Everett said that you fart a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a fucking dad. I'm training a kid.
He's so dirty too.
You want to take a break?
No, I
I
carry
think it
on.
might be gone.
Carry on.
Well, no, we're in the middle of a fucking show. You know, if you can't fucking,
I'm the one that says carry on.
you fart sometimes, and I
Never.
don't do this.
Never. I do like non-smelly ones.
Oh, I don't smell mine either. Okay.
Yeah, where's your fart kit that Rich got you for your birthday?
Yeah.
Where's the spray?
It's a 3-piece kit.
All right, so the famous drop scene, but I didn't remember that he like had to like. I just thought it was like, and he's just there, and he's just like,
Yeah, like a whole drop.
and he's just floating,
Well, that's
and
because
everything's
this
fine.
scene really paved the way for other movies to replicate it, but actually make it look cool.
Yeah, I think
like-
you're right. Yeah.
Because he goes, well, you know, because I said I'd never seen this movie before. He
Right.
goes, surely you've seen the scene, and I'm like, well, I've seen it like referenced a bunch, yeah.
Yep.
And then whenever I actually saw it, I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's
You know,
that was it.
it really, what he said at the beginning of the movie hit me like a ton of bricks, and it's so true. At the beginning of a movie, it's this whole other era seeming. It's like a 70s movie.
Yeah, right.
And then right in the middle, they sort of slowly transition into now it's this high-tech 90s action movie. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Though, it
changes
definitely
tone pretty quick.
Completely changes tone
once they get into the CIA
because I mean I definitely noticed especially with how they started the movie with the sort of scenes from other episodes of them doing their missions. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That's very TV Mission Impossible. The beginning, the way it started out.
Opening credits.
Yeah, all that stuff was very TV show. And I felt like maybe, and I didn't think about this until you brought it up, but it maybe was a very deliberate, let's take the 70s TV show, start with that same exact vibe, and then slowly through the movie, and then by the end, bring it to the 90s, and up to a modern time method of storytelling and also action scenes and everything. Maybe that was a very deliberate thing that they did.
Could be.
Or maybe the movie just sucked at the first part.
That's a good point, too. That's a really good point.
It definitely had it got a big knock for being very confusing. Yeah, I mean, it was a huge movie. Huge.
Obviously, it has 6 fucking sequels.
It's got another one coming out this week. So,
but I don't think it got the sequels because this movie was regarded as a good movie or should have had a sequel. It was actually a surprise, I think, that the second one came about. Yeah. And I think if it wasn't for Tom Cruise, it probably would have gotten it. But maybe he just said, look, that didn't go well, but we're definitely gonna make this one better somehow. I don't know, but fuck the newer ones.
I have never seen.
Amazing.
I've never seen this one.
Some of the best action movies out there.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the other ones.
The Ghost Protocol was amazing. The Rogue Nation was amazing.
Which one is the airplane?
3 is really good too. That's the J.J. Abrams one. The airplane was Rogue Nation.
That was the most recent one.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's the most.
I don't know. And Casey says we didn't, but we definitely saw it.
I did not see that one.
Ghost Protocol was in. They were jumping or doing a lot of stuff in that tower in Dubai, and it's super high up, and they had sandstorms. It was really cool. It was great.
Second one I didn't like because John Woo did it, and it was just too.
That
guy's the worst.
Too much
I'm gonna say it.
stuff.
Yeah, the second one was better than the first one.
Oh,
not nearly as good as the third one.
Second and on, hands down, better than the first one.
Yeah,
The second one had the motorcycle when they jump in the air and they.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's I think the first one I ever saw.
And Ben Stiller did that remake of him on the side of the Rock.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But 3 and on, phenomenal. Yeah.
Some of the best action movies out there for real.
Because remember, Tom Cruise is one of my favorites.
Did you watch it on an airplane? Maybe
we've talked about this every time you bring up who's one of
I
your
definitely
favorite
watched
actors.
it with you.
Oh, he is one of your favorites for real?
Okay.
Oh, all the way back since Cocktail.
Maybe I watched it on an airplane. That could be what? Cocktail?
You watched the one with the airplane with Jack. That's what you said. You and Jack watched it together.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah. What? What'd you say?
He likes Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You don't like Cocktail?
No, I liked him way back since Cocktail.
Oh, that was your first Tom Cruise movie? Yeah.
My first Tom Cruise movie was whenever we did
Top Gun.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you weren't on that one. Yeah.
It was no
Outsiders.
Actually, Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, okay.
Probably. Yeah, I did. Was I on the Outsiders podcast?
Yeah, you were. Mm-hmm.
I don't consider
It's
that
not
a
really
Tom
a Tom
Cruise
Cruise
movie
movie,
though.
no.
No, it was fucking Jerry Maguire, and I didn't like it at all.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
great fucking movie.
It didn't make any sense.
Jackie
Didn't
has a
matter.
big Top Gun poster in her office, and she hates that movie.
She's a Navy recruiter.
Oh.
But they have it there to lure the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're
the thing.
like,
You too.
It'll be just like
it's-
Top Gun.
Exactly. That's where she's like, I fucking hate this thing, but it's there because she's like, nah.
I know what you're thinking, Krieger.
Okay, that was about 5 taps too many. I'd have punched it.
Yes, and he was. He was carrying 2 discs. It's so hard to keep track of these things.
Where is it?
Do you actually think I'd let you have the knock list?
Try any sleight of hand with my money, I'll cut your throat.
Why didn't he just take it with him? You got a 50-50 shot.
Thing. Yeah.
Also, what if he would have? And then the other direction. What if he would have snapped it in half?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Out of anger.
Well, but what you're saying is it wouldn't have mattered. They could have figured that out. They could put it in a different casing
That's
or some
true.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Snapping in half would be
Wouldn't it ruin the
difficult,
information if you snapped it in half?
It would ruin some of the
Get
information.
fingerprints on it, exposed to light. Whatever
You'd
it is.
still have enough
You're not
names to
supposed
make a difference.
You're not supposed to slide that stupid aluminum piece on the top.
Oh, that spring.
Yeah.
Fuck that spring.
If it makes noises, you're screwed.
Well, so before this, he discovers the Holy Bible in the Gideon's Bible from the song Rocky Raccoon by the Beatles.
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah, so, and then more ridiculous sexual tension. Then, and then now he's going to give the disc to Marcellus Wallace from Pulp Fiction. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that's what's in the briefcase.
Yeah. This knock list.
His soul on 1.43 megabytes.
Hauling Mom off to jail in shackles was an especially nice touch. He's in England.
Get MI5. Ethan, I want to assure you that my first order of business after you come in is to have these ridiculous charges against your family dropped and eliminated completely from their files. Now, if you come in now, we can play down the charges against you as well.
Can I ask you something, Kittredge?
Certainly, Ethan.
If you're dealing with someone who's crushed, stabbed, shot, and detonated 5 members of his own IMF team, how devastated do you think you're going to make him by marching Ma and Uncle Donald down to the county courthouse?
I don't know, Ethan. Why don't you tell me?
Austin.
Well.
Okay, here you go, Jaret. Trope.
Oh, this is a trope.
Yep. So a trope is a common plot device used by Hollywood. Them talking for a certain amount of time before he can get traced.
Lock on the location.
That's a trope. That's something you see in a bunch of movies. It's like, oh, he hung up before we could trace him.
Is it not real?
No, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's just a common trope that movies use.
I thought
as
that
a,
when I was
as
watching
a device.
this, and I was actually thinking in my mind, like maybe this is one of the earlier on. This is, as far as I remember, this is one of the earlier on like examples of that, where they do that, where it's like locking the location. They like.
I don't know how far back that goes, but yeah.
Tracing phones though has been there forever. That's what they were trying to do.
It was big, and I think it was probably before that, because I think it was in the 80s too.
For sure, tracing phones. Right. It was always like keep them on the phone.
Yeah,
keep the kidnappers on the phone.
Right,
if you keep them like it used to be like 2 minutes or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, but now it's fucking instant, right?
Kidnappers always know though.
Yeah, I don't think it's a thing. Well, first of all, who has a landline?
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore.
We do actually.
So you just
I have no idea why.
You just triangulate.
I think it saves us money on our car
You're
insurance.
hitting a cell tower.
I don't know, but
at
I'm
this
trying
point.
to teach Everett about 911 and like the uses of it, and like he's not going to be able to get into your phone because yours is all fucked up, and like mine's always locked. So maybe the landline's important.
Well, don't leave him alone. How about that?
No, but like, what if we get murdered and he's just like in the house,
Oh, then
or
he's
you
fucked.
fall and hit your head, or
Yeah.
you call 911, so you get like a.
He doesn't
Dexter
have a good life
situation
ahead
where-
of him anyway, so it's.
Is it just become like a motivational speaker because
Get
of his
you,
like
bitch. Right.
triumphs over a horrible life?
It's something like that.
Nah, he's fucked.
Yeah.
No, he's fucked. Well, I thought in this movie. Oh. Well, I thought in this movie it was clever, if nothing else, because I remember that's one of the scenes I remember as a little kid seeing this movie and being like, "Oh, that was neat."
Which part?
The phone thing.
Yeah.
You know. I remember seeing
It's
I mean,
he's
after
watching
it
the
came
clock.
out.
It's a common plot device for a reason. It's very effective, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's that. Okay.
Yeah.
So move on to this.
First he took out Jack at the elevator. He shot you on the bridge.
Why make the face?
I think he was yelling. That's I've been shot. Oh.
There it is.
And he had to look up so the camera didn't show. Ethan.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, may I?
Yeah, go.
Because when that starts, what's funny is because as like the audience who, you're supposed to sort of be in Tom Cruise's perspective of thinking like, oh my God, he made it out. Like he survived getting shot and falling off the cliff. He literally says to him like, yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, he goes, so I managed to crawl to a safe house and...
but it doesn't matter.
And then he just goes, anyway, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, so like, how do you expect him to sort of like believe that, especially even us as the audience, be like, oh yeah, you just brush past that, you're fine.
Well, when I first saw the gun being shot on the video...
It doesn't line up, right?
Well, I was like, why is he shooting himself? It's obviously his hand pointing back at himself. Like, that is super obvious that was him pointing at himself.
Yeah.
When I couldn't remember anything about the movie, I was like, why is he shooting himself?
Right. Why not just do
obvious.
the blood? Because the gun had a silencer anyway. Like, why not just do
why
the
not
blood?
Make a lot of sound.
Like,
though.
I
He wanted
turned
to
around.
make him believe it, you know.
I guess so.
You
Yeah,
did hear the shot because when the shots go off, Tom Cruise like looks up earlier on. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But also, I don't like. I always thought that was kind of weird. In that sequence, how they spoon feed it to you as it's happening, as he's learning.
Right.
You're learning the real truth of it, and it's like then he does right away, because he's trying to tell him it's the other guy that did it, right?
Right. He's.
So I thought they would like
someone
string
else.
you. Yeah, but I thought they'd string you along with his narrative for a little bit. That would be more of like a now movie.
I thought it was cool though how he corrected himself too. He's like.
No,
but
could have been.
How would you have killed?
Oh, when he like kind of stops.
How would you have killed her? And he has her press Claire, and then he takes Claire out of the picture. Oh,
because he wants her to be innocent.
Yeah, he wants her to be innocent.
Yeah.
So what the thing was working.
As he's putting all these pieces together, and then he said he even knew earlier, since the Bible part of it, he knew that. Why didn't he just fuck him up right there? Like, why did he let him go and then go their separate directions?
Because he has to clear his name, I guess. I don't know.
He could have fucking put him in a chokehold and called the cops and go, I just fucking solved the whole case.
He's not the Undertaker, you know? Like,
yeah. I mean, at this point, though, he knows he's the mole.
Yeah, why not just
But he doesn't know
grab
who
his
Job is, right? So isn't this a whole intermingled thing?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
You know?
I don't know why you'd just let him go and then hopefully by chance run across him in a train.
But then he ends up right, because this is where I get kind of a little like not lost.
I don't think he knew that Jim was going to be on the train. That's why
then
he's
that's
dressed
even worse.
as him.
He just let the guy go that killed all these people because he's so worried about the knock list thing.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah, he's not as worried about the fact that
this
he
guy
killed
into custody.
all of his friends, right?
Yeah, I mean the biggest knock on this movie was it was confusing, and I agree it was confusing.
Yeah, agreed.
But I also remember watching the movie, coming at him and going, "That was pretty good," and then hearing about the confusion part and going, "I totally got everything. What's the big deal?" And I did understand it.
Yeah.
I understand that it can be how it could be conceived as confusing, but I enjoyed it. I understood the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that might be my.
But you're trying to
superpower.
keep up with everyone's like logic, and they're not all lining up.
Yeah.
Well, I think this whole meeting with Jim thing is insane. He's like, Claire can't know that I'm or that I'm alive, and then he's like, Lord knows what she's done to forget me or compete for or to complete the job, meaning, maybe she blew you.
Maybe you grabbed her underboob aggressively.
Maybe you did. And then more sexual tension when she starts licking his hand for no reason when he gets up. So then we get to the train. Max gets the disc, tells him where the money is in the baggage car. And then, did we have wireless internet in 1996?
We hardly have it now.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck was that? The modem is not loading. It's like, you're on a fucking train. You wait till you plug into Earthlink. Like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, don't fucking Jesus Christ. So
maybe they have phones on the train.
I did love the line that Max says to the guy, just like, "Did you check the batteries?" And he's just, "Yeah, of course I checked the batteries." It's like, back in the day, everything was the batteries.
Yeah,
you know? Like we gotta check the batteries.
Yeah.
See, that was fine.
That was CGI in the dark.
He also
Still
lost
fine.
about 50 pounds too.
Yeah.
Had some cotton in there.
Of course, I'm very sorry to hear you say that, Claire.
Ethan.
Yes. Ethan Hunt, darling. You remember him, don't you?
You knew about Jim.
Of course. Just exactly when he knew is something of a question. Mind telling me, Ethan? Before or after I showed up in London?
Before London. But after you took the Bible from the Drake Hotel in Chicago.
They stabbed it, didn't they? Those damn Gideons.
Damn Gideons.
Damn. 'Cause it's a Gideon's Bible. So, look. Why wouldn't have Tom Cruise heard his voice and got a goddamn gun out? And been like, "Hey, fuck you," you know, like I've got a gun too.
He didn't bring a gun.
But he pulled like that huge power
I knew I
move,
forgot
like-
something.
That dude's like a real ass like agent, you know, of like a impossible task force. You think he'd always have a gun.
Seemingly impossible.
Yeah, so Claire's already walked past Kithridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't recognize her.
No.
It's his boss. It's her boss.
Right.
And then, and basically, he's in this situation because he's trying to clear Claire or whatever, or because she blew him, or they like did it or something, or
I
what
don't
is
know
happening
anymore.
here?
They never say.
They needed to be on the train so that they could have the last scene. Basically, that's it.
How about when Jim says that he understood what Ethan is doing because he had tasted the goods?
Oh, that was the worst.
What a fucking terrible thing to say about your wife that you're about to shoot in the fucking chest.
Whoa, shit.
And also, why the fuck did he shoot her in the chest?
I think he did it by accident. Wasn't he shooting at Ethan?
No, he fucking shot her, right?
I think he shoots at Ethan, and then she gets in the way. It was an accident.
Man, I don't think so. I thought he just...
That's how I saw it, but
Maybe that's why her boobs are
no.
off to this side.
It's super weird because she goes, "No, Jim," and then he repeats, "No, Jim," and then shoots her in the chest, and then he takes off running.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. Let's get to the helicopter.
What?
Whoa!
Was that car number 3?
I think this is what you're looking for.
I think this is what you're looking for.
This
is what you're looking for.
Hello, Max.
My lawyers are going to have a field day with this. Entrapment, jurisdictional conflict.
Maybe we'll just leave the courts out of this one.
I'm sure we can find something I have that you need.
In a freak accident, a helicopter lost altitude, veered into a tunnel, and collided with a high-speed train on its way from London to Paris.
Can a helicopter fly in a tunnel? I Googled. No, it cannot.
Also, that thing where the blade's like right by the front of his face or the back of his neck or whatever
Yeah.
it is when he's laying there and it like gets real close.
Yeah.
And the dude's like holding it steady. Then like something stops him and like jolts him and like like the helicopter goes up. That would have just cut his head off. Like it was right there. Like he was so close to it that like
Right.
that sudden movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
would've just
Also,
been the end of it.
helicopter blades are flimsy.
Yeah.
Also,
So
it's-
they're constantly going up and down. They're not like a straight line.
It's not, yeah.
Also, it's weird to offer the get out of jail blowjob after the guy tells you, "I'm not going to take you to jail."
I don't think that's what he was saying.
He said we're going to keep the courts out of this.
No, I think he means they're gonna like do something.
Basically,
worse.
just lock her up somewhere else.
Yeah, like without the legal system being involved. Like
No,
they have
that's
the
not
power
what
to do
any of
so.
that means.
I don't think so either. I think he's going to let her go.
He's definitely going to let her go.
And then she goes, "I think there's something you want from me." Like,
Yeah. It's basically, I'm going to give you some information on some other syndicate crime thing that you'll be able to go if you let me go.
So she's not offering a blowjob at all.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't think she was
Damn it.
until you brought it up, and then I was like, but then
No, she
upon
sounds like
this
she's-
one, it
yeah.
sounded like it really did this time.
What's the guy
like
sitting next to her going to do? Like tickle the balls?
He doesn't
That's
have
his
to be
job.
there. He'll just
That's what
wait.
he's supposed to be doing.
He'll wait outside.
You know?
Or does he go to jail? I don't, how does this work?
Tickle
I'm
the
new.
balls,
I'm new to
tickle the
this.
balls, pinky in the butt. And again, we get red light, green light gum. And his head gets almost cut off. Max says no lawyers. And then we close it out here.
I mean, if you have small hands, it doesn't have to be the pinky.
Excuse me, Mr. Hunt. Would you like to watch a movie?
Oh, no, thank you.
Would you consider the cinema of the Caribbean? Aruba, perhaps.
Hey, so did you know who did this version of the song?
Is it Limp Bizkit?
No, it's the
That's what I was gonna say.
it's the two guys that you don't know the names of that are in the band U2.
The Edge.
No, that you know
You know
that
his name.
Oh,
the
no.
other guy and the other guy.
I don't know his actual
It's
name.
the bass player and the drummer.
Everybody knows their names.
I don't know their names.
Selleck.
DeLong.
Selleck.
Tom
Brady.
Tom Adams.
Tom Brady.
Really?
Yeah, it's they redid the song. That's them doing this part.
Nice. Well, this has been fun. Rob, thank you so very much for being here.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
You've looked like you were going to fall asleep the entire goddamn night.
That's not true.
That's his.
You're
That's
right.
his vibe.
I realize we're not done.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. Did our ding. Dano.
Squint it.
I have the 6 emails.
Oh no, I got it. So I love the fact that he picked Aruba. You know, they picked Aruba to send him to, and I want him to find that that one chick that ended up missing. You know, because the goddamn fucking the Dutch guy that just goes around killing people and shit. I thought that's what they were gonna do.
Amanda something?
No, that's
What's her
somebody
name?
else. Amanda Hug and Kiss. Did you just go?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. First of all,
all right.
All right, I have to fart, but I'm not going to do it.
Just
no, I'm
go
not going
out
to do
the
it.
bathroom or
I'm
something.
not
Like,
going to do it because I don't want to wreck the whole
he's gonna
show.
save it for whenever we're in bed.
I'm not fart. I swear to God, I won't. I won't do that.
I gave you Glade.
I didn't fart.
He gave you
Rich.
Glade. He gave you Gas
Dino.
X.
Thank you to everybody who shares our show this week. Thank you, Woody Chambers, Danny Stuckey, Chris Pulse, Ray Jimenez, Mark Ryan, Jay Burdett, Jake Bradford, Austin Mark Graff, otherwise known as Sweet Cheeks, and Joey Bishop. Thank you very. Oh my God, Joey Bishop, that's fucking nice. Thanks, Joey. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Let's get to a little bit of business before we end this.
Let's check the email box. Email us at jaredgoestothemovies@gmail.com.
Rory Sweetman writes, I love your podcasts. D-O-N done.
Nice. Thank you, Rory.
Barry Ferguson, the original and very best $1 supporter, writes, ahoy to you all, except Will, as he has quit the podcast. I found myself with some time on my hands last week and used this listening to the first 2 podcasts again. This was also due to seeing that it was the anniversary of BTTF's release. BTTF?
Back to the Future.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Nice.
You have spoken of remaking the first podcast again to make it better. I don't think you need to, as the first episode, it sets the tone for the many to come, and is really not as bad as you think it was. I won't ramble, as I know you hate reading long emails. Maybe that's why no one sends them to you anymore. Because we had a little dry spell.
That is the perfect email. It really is.
Adam Sparks writes, you totally should do the Bill Murray's movie, The Life Aquatic, with Steve
Zissou.
Also, I hate those movies, by the way. Also, I've recently have started listening from hearing Jaret on Lex and Terry.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted to know exactly how I would listen to the extra content if I became a Patreon subscriber. I actually emailed him about that.
Cool.
And then he emailed me back and said, right after pledging $5 a month for the show, and he wrote this. I would like to share this touching moment. I had been listening to your podcast with my son. I got off work today and was listening to the Serendipity episode. I know I'm far behind, but I'd like to start at the beginning and see how the show progresses and binge on things that are good. But I will be pissed when I catch up and have to wait. But moving on, I had went and picked up my son from my mom's house. The podcast starts when I start the car, and the first thing out of Jaret's mouth is, "You don't kiss an elbow until you've eaten her vagina."
The whole time you're reading this, I'm like, how old is the son?
Yeah, I was thinking the same
I
thing.
immediately hit pause, and we made the rest of the trip home in silence. So thanks for the memories that I have and will have from future episodes.
That's amazing. And shout out to Lex and Terry.
Yeah, what happened? You didn't even tell me you were on Lex and Terry.
I did an interview with they needed me
You didn't
to
even tell me that. If it makes you feel better.
They had a so
they're
Terry,
in Chicago now.
Terry went no. They're
where are they?
They're here.
Oh, they're here?
Ish.
Well,
Terry's,
what station are they in?
Terry's in Seattle. Lex is here.
But the station's here?
They're syndicated all over.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, in fact, I'm doing an episode. Lex is doing a podcast, and I'm going to be on his first episode, and we're taping it this week.
Awesome.
But, so...
Have they listened to the show?
Terry probably has.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I doubt Lex has. But, no, so... Terry had bought, I guess it was this drum or whatever that was like supposed to be like.
You're just nervously hitting that bell?
Yeah. Terry had bought like some drum or whatever, and he wanted to know the pitch of it or whatever. So he just called me in the morning. He's like, "What's the pitch of this thing?"
A.
Well, actually, I was just like, "It's an E," and then and I had thought it was an E, and then right after I hung up, I'm just like, "Oh fuck, man, that's definitely a G." And I like text him. I'm like, "Dude, it's a G. It's a G. Don't fuck me up." Anyway, so sorry. Anyway, so that's how I ended up on that thing.
All right. Mitch Bergeron writes, "Hey, y'all. How's she hanging?" He's Canadian. I guess he's making fun of us. Well, I've been listening since Purple Rain, and I guess he didn't... Okay. Listening since Purple Rain, I always had a question I wanted to ask. Is there a movie that you guys can think of that sucks but has a killer soundtrack?
Purple Rain.
I think that's why he mentioned it.
I think people would want to say Trick or Treat, the metal movie that had Ozzy in it, but I actually really liked the movie, but that soundtrack was badass.
Wasn't that one with Dee Snider really good? The fucking Strangeland, the really horrible movie?
Yeah.
I never saw
Wasn't the
that.
music really good in that one?
Yeah.
Well,
Was
The
it not?
Crow
It's been a long
wasn't
time.
great. It wasn't a terrible movie. I mean, he died in the middle, so you kind of have to give it a little bit. But the soundtrack of The Crow was phenomenal.
Okay, personally, and not everybody will agree, Queen of the Damned. Didn't like the movie, liked the soundtrack
Yeah,
a
what
lot.
was
It was a lot of corn, but it was still like...
No, it was just Jonathan Davis doing his own. He scored the whole movie.
Was it?
Oh, okay.
I had
Korn.
that soundtrack, and it
Okay.
was really good. But I didn't like the movie.
Yeah, the movie wasn't good.
And it sucks that she's dead now, but that she wasn't
right.
a very good actress.
I've never scored an entire movie, only just like we take breaks, but sorry, go ahead.
Faye Stacy writes, "Hi guys, I've only just started listening to your podcast and I bloody love it. Please don't ever stop or change. It is so funny. I really didn't expect to learn so much about your cock and balls, but that's cool. I'm from Derby, England. Please visit Derby with BFS." And then I wrote him back, I replied to him.
Her.
Is it her?
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote Faye Stacy back, and then I got, oh my God, do you realize how overexcited I am by your reply? I may actually have to go and have a wank. I'm English. We don't masturbate. We wank. I look forward to hearing my name on the next podcast.
Even girls wank. I mean, like everybody wanks.
Okay.
You know.
So it could be a girl.
You know what was the name?
Faye Stacy. Faye.
Faye Stacy. That's got to be a girl.
Okay.
But I mean, like it's almost like girls jack off, you know, or like rub one out or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, they just have a wank.
I just want to let Faye know that you weren't talking to Jared. You were talking to me, and I'm sorry.
So a danger wank is when you're a teenager.
Faye Stacy's definitely a girl.
Okay.
Well, a danger wank is when you're in your room and you yell for your mom to come here, and you try to fucking finish before she gets in there.
That's worse.
That's a fucking thing.
But no, that's worse. Because fucking Jared does that all the time, and his mom's never even here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll just call her.
He's just screaming for his mom in there all the time.
And she's in the bathtub going, "Your mom is not here. She does not live here."
It's not gonna work.
Oh my God! All right, that's it for mailbag.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Silent Sean. You're, as always, the greatest ever. Man, This guy works so fucking hard, stays up so late, and doesn't even drink. It's fucking weird. Rob, we're glad you're here, man. Good luck on everything you got going on. And Casey, I love you. I'll see you. Well, I see you right now. I'll see you in a minute. And Rich, it's fucking good to be back.
It is. I like you more than a friend.
And Rich, we'll see you down the road.
I like you more than a friend.